alive, pal. Man, I don't think I picked Memphis to win, dude. The hell was I thinking? I think Coach Cat's got in my head. Talking about Boise State.
Shout out to Coach Katz. But, Coach Kenny's always here. You know what I'm saying?
Man, shoot. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
What's going on, everybody? We see the dope ones in the house. Dope one, you know what I'm saying? Deion Sanders classic joint. It's a classic. I'm trying to find this emoji. There it is. What's going on, man? Hope everybody got their brackets in. Ready to lose to me. I'm perfect right now. I'm perfect. Absolutely perfect. Should have listened to me, Jesse. I told you. Go blue. We out here. As I just tweeted out, they had me in the first half. I ain't gonna lie. They had me in the first half, but now, we turned up in that second half. Now the thing about it is, I have them promptly going home next game. So, nice little. Didn't get bounced in the first round. It's okay.
Okay. Of course, got a monitor out.
There we go. That's what I was looking for.
That back on. All right. All sorts of tech brothers just trying to watch some basketball games, man. What's the deal? Oh. What's good, baby? Come on in, hang out. We have got you covered for the next 4 hours. It is D-Lo and KC, brought to you by McQueen and the Violet Fog, the smoothest gin in the world, handcrafted in Brazil. We'll keep you updated on everything going on in the NCAA tournament and any breaking news that comes across the National Football League. We have got you covered. I'm Damian Barling. He's Kenny Caraway.
Yes, sir. Wait.
Acknowledge me.
Especially this time of year. Michigan, go blue.
Okay. Are they winning another game?
I don't have them winning another game.
Okay.
I'm just saying people thought Colorado State was going to get them out of here.
I didn't think
no,
that.
Sir.
Come
no,
on,
sir.
Come on now. I was a little.
Had me in the first half, though. Okay. I ain't going to lie.
Okay.
Had me in the first half. Mm-hmm. Ellie got to 16. I said, whoa, wait a minute, Juwan. Go slap somebody again. Go slap that coach across the face again.
I don't know. Your boy Anthony is slapping a couple people across the face right now.
Stop asking me stupid questions.
They are big right now.
Hey, don't disrespect that, man.
Stop disrespecting me, bro. Like, don't do that.
Don't do that. Like, come on, man. That. Don't do that. We'll keep you updated, man. We'll have some fun with the NCAA tournament for sure. But again, we are happy that you are here with us. The Sacramento Kings fall short last night. A hell of a ball game, a hell of a fight, a hell of an experience on social media when I saw some Kings fans make themselves look a little bit foolish. In my opinion. But we'll talk about that.
Good job, good effort.
Yeah, that's pretty much what the game was. Good job, good effort. That was kind of the extent of it. There's plenty to break down, plenty to talk about, plenty to dive into, all of those different things, and we most certainly will. But it was a tough physical game. I don't know why the officials hate. I don't know if they hate the Kings. I don't know if they hate De'Aaron Fox. I don't know if they hate Sacramento. I'm not sure what it is, but the officials definitely don't like something about the Kings.
I mean, as we continue to play drops.
It's getting ridiculous. It's really ridiculous.
It is.
It is.
I mean, guys are getting slapped around from better half of the fourth quarter, third and fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter was wild.
Yeah,
fourth quarter was wild.
I looked at the game again, and to be honest with you, I just thought the referees were bad all around.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was a couple plays. I know Giannis went to the bucket in a crucial time. He got slapped at the rim. No call. I just thought the refs were just not good.
Yeah,
and it leaned heavy towards the Kings. Obviously, they didn't get as many calls as the Bucks did, but just in general, they just had a bad night.
Yeah, and it was. I think it's magnified. Fouls are tough, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being an official is difficult. Calling fouls are tough. Like I get that. Man, what Rashawn did on that baseline, that sideline, and making the effort, getting on the ground to save that ball over to De'Aaron.
You got to be better than that.
And blowing that, like that's like that. That's just poor officiating. You know, like referees sometimes with foul calls can be like umpires, right? There's a strike zone in Major League Baseball, but for some reason, this is a part of baseball I haven't figured out. Every umpire seems to have a different version of what the strike zone is. Fouls, I think, can be the same way in the NBA. Like you have officials who call things a little tighter. You have officials who fall back a little bit more. But the Rashawn Holmes play, man, there's just no excuse for that. Like you can't miss that. You can't take away a play from a guy who is working his ass off like that. You can't miss that if you're an official.
No, absolutely not. I mean, you got that play. You got the play where Sabonis got just slapped across the head on the baseline. They called it out of bounds on Milwaukee. That was the wrong call as well, but it was a foul as well. There's just ones that you can't, like I say, you said, you can't miss. You can't miss.
No.
I talk about the Giannis play. It's a blatant foul.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what are you guys watching? What's going on? The refereeing is it's a struggle right now for these refs some nights. And last night was one of them. Like I said, a lot of them didn't go the Kings' way. Fox getting fouled twice in a 10-second span, gets fouled on the offensive end, then does what he's supposed to do as a defender, and creates a charge that wasn't called, led to a Middleton 3. It's just little stuff like that. It's just trash.
Yeah. There are some interesting dynamics to coaching that we saw last night.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, we're going to talk about it. We're just going to talk about it. Like Alvin was in, I think, what is one of the most difficult spots for a coach late in the game. The beginning of the game, it wasn't so difficult. He just made the wrong decision, in my estimation. He started Justin Holiday. James Ham put the tweet out there. Deuce Mason put the tweet out there. And the Kings world collectively sighed and groaned. Like, you got to be kidding me. You're turning away from Donte DiVincenzo just because Justin Holiday's back. Now, I'll give Alvin Gentry credit on this. I think he recognized it early, and he pulled back, and we saw Donte DiVincenzo play the bulk of the minutes at that position, including the entire fourth quarter. He kind of fell away from Justin Holiday a little bit there. But still, it's one of those things where it's like, all right, I don't know what we're doing this for, but okay, he's starting Justin Holiday.
Yeah, I don't get it. And now I'm getting a little frustrated because I feel like it's putting a tough spotlight and putting Justin Holiday in a bad spot. And I like Justin Holiday. I think he's a good ball player. I think he can contribute a lot to this team and a number of different other teams. But you're putting him in a situation that he clearly it's not the best situation for him. You know what I mean? Like, and now he's looking bad. And I'm sure I'll tell you, he's a competitor. He's a professional. You know the lineage he comes from. He's not going to ever shy away from an opportunity to prove what he can do in this league. So he's not backing down, nothing like that. But they're putting a lot on his plate right now. And instead of making it easier for him or finding a situation that may work a little better for him and going with the guy in Donte DiVincenzo, who has shown that I think he's ready for that challenge and that responsibility. Yeah. You continue to try and pigeonhole Holiday into the starting role have DiVincenzo come off the bench for whatever reason. And it's just unnecessary right now. And I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
I don't either. But again, he veered away from it. He went with Davion. He went with Davion late, particularly early in the fourth quarter. There was a lineup of Fox, Rashawn Holmes, Davion Mitchell, Donte DiVincenzo, and your boy Trey Lyles. And he ran almost that entire group, with Holmes being the only exception, as Domantas Sabonis subbed in with about 5 and some change left. He ran with that group the entire fourth quarter. When I said that's one of the most difficult things I think a coach has to do, is I understand why he did it, because the group was playing well together. But there's also, Harrison Barnes isn't a G League guy. Like, right. he's a capable player to put in there. And I understand, like, I think that is just one of the most difficult dynamics in coaching on field. Is I have a group together, and I think he acknowledged this in the press conference where he was asked about Harrison Barnes, and he just said, I like the way that the group was playing. But when you're out there for 12 minutes, you're running the risk of kind of fading away there at the end. And that happened a little bit. It happened for a variety of reasons, and we'll talk about them. And the Fox haters who have been in a foxhole, no pun intended, for the last month, boy, they have found the sunlight. And they out here today with their variety of burner accounts, sending out their notes and sending out their tweets, sending out their message to the chatty house. Boy, like Fox's turnovers late. They breathed life into his haters last night. But sticking with that group as long as he did, I think fatigue became a factor. I think armchair quarterbacking here. You probably could have thrown Harrison in for the final few minutes, maybe breathed a little bit different, type of air into that group. But ultimately, I don't think not making that change cost them the game. I just think when you look back at it, that's a tough call for Alvin to make. It's difficult in that moment when that group is playing the way that it was.
Right, and I completely understand that. Where would you have gone? Would it have been Trey Lyles?
I think so.
Maybe?
Yeah, as much. I know. Keep that same energy. I know. I don't like him in that position.
I understand.
I don't like him in that position. But Donte wanted that. He wanted that game. He wanted that moment. He wanted to play against them. Davion was phenomenal. Like they carried the entire bench yesterday. Those two did. And then obviously Sabonis and Fox are the other two. So I was thinking about that this morning when I thought, would I have thrown Harrison in? What would I have done? I would have had to have done the 4.
And I'm trying to think of who.
Which I hate.
Lyles was guarding. I'm not sure. I don't think Bobby Portis. I'm not sure if Bobby Portis was on the court or not at that time.
I can pull it up.
But, whoever it is, I mean, I think
whoever it was, Harrison is capable.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, Harrison.
And that's what I mean. It's not like you're not trying to throw fresh legs out there. You're not trying to throw a fresh body out there. You're throwing out your most established veteran.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're throwing out your most established guy out there to kind of help see if he can close this game against the team that, oh, by the way, I think some people did forget this, and I'll help remind you. They are the defending NBA Finals champions.
Yeah, man. That's what happens when you play against a team with the best player in the world, in my opinion, in Giannis Antetokounmpo. You know what I mean? And at least he's got the belt right now. We'll put it that way.
That belt ain't going nowhere.
Nah, and then you got another great primetime performer like Chris Middleton, who can make a bucket in a number of different ways. Yeah, much like when they're hitting like that and Drew Holiday is hitting shots too, you got to bring your A game to beat them. That's no indictment on the Kings or anybody else in this league. You got to bring it all. You got to make sure you take care of the basketball late in games. You got to make sure that you have solid defensive stops and defensive possessions. So it was a close game last night. Bucks, the defending champions, came away with it, but I think there's a lot of positivity to take away on the Kings side as well. Keep saying, man, they're not that far away. I really believe that.
Okay, well, let's talk about it then. Power of positivity, like the original version of the New Day. We'll dive into that We'll talk more about De'Aaron. We'll talk about some of y'all making yourselves look stupid on social media. When Herm Edwards is out there, man, let them words run through your head. Don't push send. Because you know Kings fans will figure everything out. We figured some of y'all out last night. We'll talk about that. And why was Brett Favre in your seats last night?
Well, they weren't my seats.
We'll get to the bottom of this. It was courtside Chuck and courtside Favre last night. That was a wild thing to see. Plus, Vlade was there. Talk about it. Lots of things to talk about. We're just getting started. We're here with you for the next 4 hours. Stilo and KC on ESPN 1320. Okay, I need to. My monitor died. Give me 2 seconds to unplug it and bring it back in.
I need to actually charge mine too. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna tell anybody what to do. You know, in the chat, you do what you want to do. But Kobe is solid. Kobe, you know, he's a guy that's in here for, you know, conversation. If he has a different outlook, then that's cool too. You know, you can have conversations with a guy like Kobe. A guy like Ben Sturkey. I mean, he's just a shit starter. I mean, when I see people like Ben in the chat or on Twitter, I mean, it's a waste of time to even respond to them because we're not here to have a real dialogue. We're not here to have a real conversation. I'm pretty sure. I know guys that know hoop. I know guys that have hooped, and they don't talk like Ben. So, yeah, there's no need. This will be the last time that I address Ben or anybody like Ben, because there's no need to waste my time. And I suggest anybody else, there's no need to waste their time and their energy talking to somebody that don't know what the hell they talking about. And like I said, I talk with guys who know hoop, who played hoop on a high level all the time. And none of them sound like Ben. None of them. Not one. So, you know, take that do with that what you want to. But I wouldn't talk to somebody that doesn't know what the hell they're talking about and give that much energy to. Ben is a troll. He is attention seeking. And after this, I mean, he ain't getting my attention. I don't have time for that. I don't have time or the patience. Pour one out for him, man. and like I said, not banning him or not like that, but it was nice. It was nice knowing what you. Hey, Ben, in all seriousness, you are in here, you know, watching the show and supporting. So I appreciate that. But as far as like genuine dialogue, genuine back and forth, I mean, that'd be a complete waste of time. And I'm not really in the business of wasting my time. A lot of the time.
You know how bad your take has to be to just get shut down like that, to not even get the BTB label. You just got the fam. You can't even have this discussion conversation. Whoa.
We can't. I mean,
man.
Yeah, no. There's no need.
That bad take label is actually too loving. That's what it was.
Yeah,
it's just like, yo, you gotta go.
Yeah, Jeff Hardy rules. Todd is the same way, but Todd ain't in here right now. If he comes in here talking the same craziness, I mean, you can give him the same treatment as well. But yeah.
Pac-Man, wacky pack. Why can't I get into my damn bracket? Come on, son. Oh, is that right? Is that what it was?
What?
A girl, Olivia. Oh, Maybach. Olivia Christian. She's going to be with us. I don't know why I said Olivia. Oh, it didn't make sense. Her name's Olivia Christian. She's Maybach. She's going to be with us coming up at the top of the 3 o'clock hour. Always fun to catch up with her. And we'll open up the phone lines for you as well. 916-349-1320. As we mentioned, anything happens in the world of the National Football League.
See, I just naturally pop whenever I hear
got
that.
to.
Yeah.
Did you see Deuce and Mo drinking beers last night?
No.
On the night chat. It's worth peeping out at 4 o'clock. It was they try. It was just they were really trying. Like they really did put in a solid effort to try to chug the beer. It didn't go well.
It's virtually impossible.
But it's
chug it. Stone Cold don't even chug the beer.
He doesn't. He pours it all over himself.
Yeah,
but
80% of it gets.
the visual is phenomenal, and no one wants to do that like on their studio floor. Like no one wants to do that anywhere in their house. So
Right.
it's kind of part of the game. If you got to reenact something with Stone Cold Steve Austin, you do it outside where you could just turn the hose on and wash it away.
I did that when I was 17 with Pepsi.
Oh God, that must have been awful.
Oh, it was sticky. It was sticky afterwards, but hell, it was worth it.
Is there video?
Nah.
Okay.
I had shout out to my cousin Mike. You know, he was the ring guy. And I said, "Hey, throw me another one." Took another one. Throw me another one. Took another one and just chucked them together, put it on there. It got all sticky. I had to take a shower soon, but it was well worth it.
It's hilarious.
I'll do it again too.
It's hilarious that you did it with Pepsi. Like, okay, if you do it again, I need my man Reese or Jazz to get on this. Like, let's see.
We'll set that up. I might do it this weekend.
We're gonna do Pepsi. I just want to be clear. This is should we get the Stone Cold reenactment brought to you by Pepsi? I don't know what their slogan is. The choice of a new generation. I don't. That was the old Michael Jackson slogan.
I thought that's what that was.
The Coca-Cola slogan is wild. You're watching a basketball game, and I think the sign says the greatest Coke, and maybe I'm watching too much Snowfall, but man, it's just like, yo, did y'all think that through? Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, the streets say. Well, I learned this in history class. I don't know if it still happens, but there's a little taste in there.
That's what I don't know that that's still accurate.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't come after me. I'm just saying.
Yes,
I heard that in history class. I don't know what's going on today. Don't come after me.
People think Coke
Mr.
Zero means
Lemon-off.
Coke Zero means zero sugar. It actually means zero Coke. That's why. Look, if y'all don't want to become drug addicts, here, Coke Zero. You take that one. But if you're feeling something, go ahead and go with the regular Coca-Cola. We've got you. Social media was ablaze last night with Fox haters, and I couldn't. Now I'm gonna be honest. I only responded to one, and that's our dear friend Ken Rudolph. Ken wasn't the only one.
Right.
There's other people that I like. There's other people that I respected or respect. I still do. That were talking outside their neck a little bit.
We're the same people. I know they like to talk about Fox, but it was the same people who were quiet on Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They didn't have nothing to say. They ain't got nothing.
Hey, man, we read y'all like a book. You guys are easy to read at this point. I know all y'all plays at this point.
Like some of y'all talking about, oh, it's a character I play. Like, okay, like just realize this character of you lost all respect for. But there's a lot of them out there. But Ken's caught my attention. My man Ken Rudolph. 4 turnovers in the final 2 minutes in a close game. That's your point guard, but please post something about his stats again. So I quote tweeted with the sarcastic response about how, yeah, he didn't do anything. He didn't have any impactful plays. He wasn't this, he wasn't that. And then I tagged it with, y'all haters been awfully quiet. You didn't have anything to say on after he beat Chicago, after he closed out Chicago the other day. And then it got into this back and forth where I realized, Ken, admit that you didn't watch. And it dawned on me. Y'all ain't watching. Some of y'all are not watching. You're following Twitter and you're seeing a Fox turnover. You're seeing a Fox turnover. You're looking at the box score and Fox, De'Aaron had 9 turnovers. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But I realize because there's no way someone as smart as Ken would write something like, but please post something about his stats again. There's no way someone as smart as Ken would say that's your point guard coming out of that game with complete context to what happened.
Right.
That game meant nothing. Absolutely nothing for the Sacramento Kings. That game meant less than nothing for De'Aaron Fox. I saw people on Twitter talking about, okay, well, I guess that's the end of De'Aaron Fox's season when he went to the back before halftime.
Right. Yeah.
But he came back out, played the second half, played 37 minutes in that game with something clearly going on with his wrist or his hand. Showed a different level of toughness for De'Aaron Fox. For what? Because this game was meaningful? Nope. Because he wanted to be out there and play.
Right.
And I just do not believe anything other than a hater would walk away from that game with a negative perspective. He made mistakes, but I will repeat this for those who missed it earlier. They lost to the reigning, defending NBA Finals champions last night.
Mm-hmm.
A team that's pretty well known for its defense.
Mm-hmm.
They put De'Aaron in some bad positions. De'Aaron made some bad decisions. Again, we'll go over all of those. But to say he cost them the game, to say he had a bad game, to say he's stat chasing or he's empty calories, that's disingenuous. And you proved to me you didn't watch.
It's
either that or you're dumb. And I know Ken's not dumb.
Right.
He didn't watch.
It's really crazy to me to see people really just kind of being dramatic one way or the other with De'Aaron Fox. And typically they're not dramatic with like, he's the greatest thing ever. You know what I'm saying? Like the people who support De'Aaron Fox and think he's doing fine, I don't really see them saying like, yo, we got a guy that can one day be a Giannis. He's going to lead us to, no, they're just like, yo, he's balling right now. This kid is nice right now. He's balling. He has the talent to do this. But the ones that like to detract from him, they always kind of doing the most, right? They just jumping out the window talking about he's not the answer. He's not franchise point guard when he's playing the way he is.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I can understand a lot of different arguments.
But Ken,
if he's not playing well,
but Kenny,
sure.
They're not winning. They're not winning, Kenny. That look, he's empty calories, Kenny. Come on, Casey. Casey, you're better than that, Casey. Come on, Casey, you're better than that. That's the line people throw out there when they run out of. You're better than that. Oh, okay. All right. Whatever you say.
And like I said, you look at De'Aaron Fox last night, and you think that he's the reason why they lost that game. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. The guy tied the game on 2 different occasions in the last 4 minutes of the game to get them into that position. He had some bad turnovers, absolutely. But why can't it just be he had some bad turnovers? Why does it have to be the fact after the man is averaging like 35 in his last 6 games? Oh, this is why you can't win with him. What? Come on, man.
I'm looking at let's ignore the fact that he was double teamed in the corner. He made a couple of bad passes. It's really as simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
But he was forced into those bad passes. He didn't just throw the ball away. There's one though, and I don't think I'll be able to find it like here while we're talking, but there's one he dribbles he dribbles into the lane, and I don't think he knows what to do with the ball, but he's swarmed by everyone. Yeah. And he kind of he's trying to hit Domas. He doesn't even get close. And the ball just kind of goes flailing. The Bucks forced him into some tough spots. He wasn't able to answer. It happens. I ain't mad at him for that.
Yeah. And look, once again, he made turnovers down the stretch. He's got to shore that up on a more consistent basis. But I mean, once again, you got guys talking about his turnovers late in games last night. Once again, just show me that you don't watch basketball. Show me you don't watch the NBA. their point guards, your favorite point guard on a regular basis isn't getting the job done in those situations. Chris Paul last year in the NBA Finals, game 4 and 5, when he had a hand injury himself, and everybody wanted to talk about his hand injury, was fumbling the ball. He couldn't even cross the ball over without turning it over. Does that mean he's you can't win with Chris Paul all of a sudden? I'm not calling De'Aaron Fox Chris Paul, but I'm just pointing out the absurdity of looking at one particular moment of failure or not taking care of the basketball and saying that this is why you can never win with this guy. Come on, man. Especially with the way he's been playing. That's crazy.
And I'm good with anyone calling this excuse making, because I'm looking back at some of these turnovers and we're just completely ignoring the fact that top defender like Drew Holiday threw his left hand in the air at the last second to deflect the pass when it was 123. Mm-hmm. It wasn't even a play where he probably thought he was going to deflect the ball. He was just trying to throw his hands up at the last second. It tips the ball, pops over, lands. I think that's in Bobby Portis's hands, and the ball goes the other way. That's the turnover when it was 123. And you can call this excuse making if you want. I'm just not going to be lazy in my analysis of De'Aaron Fox.
And all I'm going to ask is same energy kept. I need to see the same tweets about, and look, I love this guy, but you guys are backing me into a corner. Backing me into a corner right here. I got to steal chair and I got to do what I got to do with it. I need the same energy for all of Tyrese Halliburton's failures. Because it's not, it just is what it is. He had to get that chair shot. Because let's make no bones about it. The majority of the people that are coming for De'Aaron Fox's head, they wanted Tyrese Halliburton here. Let's call a spade a spade. And they look at him as some, almighty point guard and without flaws. I need the same tweets. Mio or Santiago, whatever. I need the same comments in this comment section. When Tyrese is doing good, I'm sure people will have tweets and comments and all this other stuff. When he's putting up 4 points while getting beat by 35, come in here and break down Tyrese's game for me that night. Break it down. I need the same energy. If you're not going to do that, then don't do that to Fox. That's all I'm going to say. If you're going to do it all the way. Break down the good games, break down the good moments, break down the bad moments, break down Tyrese's good moments, break down his bad moments. If you're not going to do that, shut the hell up.
Just for those who were curious, do you know what De'Aaron did on the next offensive possession after that turnover?
Hit a game-tying 3.
Again. But, trash, can't build your team around him. I mean, post more stats for me, if you will. Post more stats. And Leezy, God bless him, man. R.I.P. Leezy. He's been our guy from day one. He is making himself look awful in our chat today. If you want to come see how bad Leezy's looking, check us out, youtube.com/ESPN1320. You can laugh at him as hard as we are. You can check us out on Facebook as well, twitch.tv/ESPN1320. It's a good place to hang out. Chat house really is fun. You even get a scolding during commercial breaks from Kenny Caraway. Like, you will get a talking to.
Hey, look, man. And Leezy, he's in the chat. How old is Tyrese? 22?
Sure.
I think he's 22 years old. 2 years older than De'Aaron Fox. And Leezy in here talking about Fox, or 2 years younger. Talking about Fox in year 5, Tyrese in year 2. I ain't trying. Leezy. Hey, Leezy and everybody else. I'm not trying to hear no excuses. You give no passes. You give no excuses to De'Aaron Fox. I don't hear no excuses for nobody. For nobody. You don't give no passes, no excuses for nobody. Don't come in here with no excuses for anybody else. I don't want to hear it. Basketball is basketball. He's out there in the NBA just like the rest of the NBA players. I don't want to hear any excuses. If you're not going to give nobody no passes, be consistent. That's what I'm going to ask of you and everybody else. Be consistent. Me personally, Damian, see, this is where I can say these type of things. Because me personally, I think De'Aaron Fox is a hell of a ball player. I think Tyrese Halliburton is a hell of a ball player. Tyrese had a terrible game the other day against Memphis. That's not an indictment on who he is as a basketball player. That's not an indictment on his talent. That's not an indictment on what he can be in this league. He's a hell of a ball player. But these people that want to go game to game with everything, if you want to do that, go game to game with everything then. That's what I'm going to say.
It's an indictment on people like Leasley who didn't have anything to say about that game the other day.
Leasley wasn't nowhere to be found. Wasn't nowhere to be found.
I told you, I went to Twitter. I even texted the group before I posted. I was like,
nowhere to be found.
Y'all been to social media? Because
I'll say it, the Riches, the Professor Cons didn't have not one tweet when that man was getting blasted by 40 points with no John Morant and putting up 4 points. Didn't have nothing to say. But the second, De'Aaron Fox, on the 21-point night to the defending champs, has some turnovers, them fingers work again.
With the bad wrist or bad hand or bad fingers or whatever the hell it was. Deuce said his hands it was taped up coming out of halftime. And then, like, right away, the tape was gone, and you saw it the whole game. And there was a point where I was thinking, what is he playing for? Like, what's he out there?
I didn't think he was going to play. Wait, when I saw him go to the locker room before the half, I figured, okay, that's the end of De'Aaron Fox tonight. Typically, that's what it's been. I'm not gonna say he's not tough or hasn't, fought through things, but just the way the Kings have gone, whether it's Harrison Barnes, Tyrese, Rashawn Holmes, De'Aaron Fox. Usually when these guys get nicked up and have to go to the back, as of late, they've played it safe and they've kept them out. And I thought that was the end of De'Aaron Fox's night. He came back to my surprise in the second half. He gutted it out and he made some big plays.
He did. And I didn't plan on proclaiming myself this, but I've long been a Rashawn Holmes guy. I think I'm a De'Aaron Fox guy. I think I'm a De'Aaron Fox guy. I wasn't planning on it, but I'll rock with it. This, according to Adam Schefter, Baker Mayfield. This is kind of funny. Baker Mayfield has requested a trade. Adam Schefter reports Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield has requested a trade.
Hey, man.
Tom Pelissaro reported that first, excuse me.
That's not my bag. Baker Mayfield is my starter quarterback. I'm not interested in that. Not saying he's going to the Niners, but just any team. I've felt that way about Baker since Oklahoma. And nothing has changed. He has talent. Like, he's a talented football player. Much like Draymond. I don't think he's a scrub or nothing like that. But I wouldn't trust that guy to lead me into a season or take me somewhere. He's gonna have to prove me wrong.
Yeah, that's fine. Baker Mayfield is curious to me more than anything else. I did not like him at all coming out of Oklahoma. I respected his rookie year in Cleveland. I felt like he had a couple of moments here. If I were to label myself something regarding Baker Mayfield, probably be close to a doubter. I doubted it, but if he had been successful, I wouldn't have been terribly, terribly stunned. I think that's more noteworthy that if I don't know that the Browns are broken up about potentially moving on from Baker Mayfield. I'm sure they want the leverage in any potential deal, but it brings Jimmy Garoppolo into the equation here for Cleveland.
Yeah, it's another possible destination for Jimmy, and especially now when it seems like people are laying down the gauntlet in Cleveland. With saying that Baker Mayfield wanted to be traded, and it looked like he was gone first. You know what I'm saying? Looked like he was gone by Cleveland's choice at first, and then they came back and said, we're going to work this thing out. Baker said, no, we're not working anything out. I want to be out of here. Okay. I think Cleveland dodged a bullet. I thought it was ridiculous that they came back and said, we're going to try and work this thing out.
Yeah, that was, well, I don't think that was genuine. I think that was leverage.
Okay.
I think they're looking back like, you're saying thank you. Bitch, you should have said goodbye because we get your ass out of here. Gone. But it didn't work out in terms of Deshaun Watson, as reported earlier. The Cleveland Browns are out of the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes, and that's still the quarterback position is still an avenue that Cleveland needs to pursue. I think Cleveland, their wide receiver position is certainly interesting. I still think they have enough pieces though to be. I think they have enough pieces to be competitive. You land that quarterback, I think they have pieces to be really good. I thought their roster says they should be good. If they're a quarterback short, maybe it's Jimmy, maybe it's somebody else, but don't take too long to land that position or you're just the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts have been right there for 3 years. They've been right there since Andrew Luck retired. Oh, there's more news. Yeah, there's more news. Let's get to Leezy. Pray to God Leezy's radio takes aren't as bad as his chat takes. 916-849-1320. Don't blow it, Leezy.
Oh, what's up, D-Lo Casey? I ain't called in a minute, man.
Leezy, what's good, man?
Don't come in here all cheerful, Leezy. Don't do that. Don't come in here all cheerful.
I keep the same energy. I'm always positive. I know it comes off.
You're always positive.
Word?
What?
Word?
Well, first things first. Hey, let me say, Foxy definitely played great lately. I mean, like I was saying in the chat, there's really no one on his team. Like, there's no one he can pass to. He has to take a lot of shots, so naturally his numbers are up. When it comes to the whole Tyrese thing, De'Aaron Fox been here like 5 years now. Tyrese year 2. I would hope Fox is playing better than Tyrese. And here in Sacramento, just going to the team, it's always a blame game. Oh, it's Buddy, it's Bagley, it's Luke. I just feel like De'Aaron Fox never takes any of the heat when the team doesn't play good. That's all I'm saying.
Leezy.
Easy.
I know you've listened to the show for a long time.
Yeah.
Stop. The first 30 games of the season. What would I say is it falls on squarely. It was De'Aaron Fox, and it's not because he's some bad player. He was the leader. He needed to step his game up. He has stepped his game up. Like that's what it came down to. I said he needed to step his game up. He has stepped his game up. He is doing his part and then some. Monty McNair stepped his game up. He's doing his part and then some. Right now, everybody's looking at this situation as it's not really much to blame. They just they're not there. They don't have enough. Monty's still got work to do. Yeah, I think the team got started a little late.
Team that's significantly better than them. That's what happened last night. They lost to a team that's significantly better than them. And Leezy talking about who's Fox ain't got nobody to pass to. One, he's got the best player he's ever had on his roster now here playing with him. And two, excuse me, who the hell was he supposed to pass to before? Y'all are talking about his scoring numbers going up. Y'all ain't said nothing about his assist numbers going up. Why do you think his assist numbers are going up? Go ahead. Go ahead. There's always a plan B, right? That's what Triple H said. Fine. Not that this is a heel turn. Nope, that's the wrong button. Because he ain't passing the ball to Buddy no more. He ain't throwing the ball to Marvin Bagley. He ain't tossing it over to Jamias Ramsey or Bob freaking Woodard. Everybody's focused on the scoring numbers going up. Ain't nobody had anything to say about his assist numbers going up.
The
just
whole
because I hit it, let's just get all excited and just start pressing buttons over here. What's this one do?
Macho Man was a small package.
Shots at the Macho Man.
Not sure why that one's still on. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I don't even remember the context of that conversation, but it's still funny.
It doesn't matter anymore.
Doesn't.
But yeah, man, like the whole thing about De'Aaron Fox's season is the first 25, 30 games of the season. I thought a lot of what De'Aaron Fox was doing was all bad. I thought his gameplay wasn't up to par. I thought, the body language, his leadership wasn't up to par. He is, we joke about it. I'm not saying it's because of me or him listening to the show or whatever. He's changed all that. He has rectified all that. He has stepped his game up on the court. I feel like he's been more of a leader on the court. And I can't really speak to off the court. I don't know what's going on in the locker room, but you hear people that are closer to the situation saying he's stepped up that aspect as well. He's improved his game. He's improved his leadership skills in the middle of the season. Is he perfect? No. But has he done the things necessary, in my opinion, to try and change what's been going on around here? Absolutely. Absolutely he has. He stepped up his game. And just like I have no problem calling him out if I don't think he's doing it, I don't have no problem saying, hey, he's doing what he's supposed to do now.
Let's come back. We'll talk more about the Kings, including Vlade's appearance last night and why Brett Favre and Chuck Liddell were in Kenny's seats. That's all coming up. Oh, and the Browns had a response for Baker Mayfield.
Okay. That's the response.
That wasn't the response.
Oh.
We'll tell you what it was when D'Lo and Casey return here on Sacramento's home for real Kings coverage. It's ESPN 1320.
Mio Santiago, you're gonna get in the bin, in that bin box.
Not this bin, by the way, different bin.
No, not Black Bottles 916. That's a good box to be in. But the Ben Stuckey, whatever his name is, because once again, Mio, it's not a real genuine conversation. It's not a real general dialogue. There's nothing that I can say to you or say during the show is going to get you to feel differently about De'Aaron Fox. So why will we waste each other's time? You know what I'm saying? Like we're not even having an understanding where, like, hey, I feel differently, but I see your points or you're entitled to your opinion. Mio, you come in here, you type on the board, you do whatever you do.
Ain't even nice on the board.
You're nice on the board.
Even young Cole.
So there's no, like, you sitting up here asking me a question. Why would I answer that? We're not having a real dialogue. We're not having a genuine dialogue, genuine back and forth. You don't really want to know. You just want to hear so you can counter it and tell me how he's not. I'm not here to waste my time. I don't think anybody else is either.
Yeah. It's worse than when you poured Pepsi all over yourself.
Yeah, I'm going to have to recreate that. We got enough Pepsi around here, too.
Oh yeah, no, we'll get JT. Yeah, we'll get JT. It's my bad. Allen Robinson.
That's a big get for them.
Yeah.
Rams. Finding money.
A salary cap, yeah.
Finding money.
3 year, a lot of it. Got $30 million.
Yeah, I thought I was lying when I told y'all they don't have the money. That's the salary cap.
Where? Schefter follows it. Rams still have money left for Odell Beckham Jr. and hope to re-sign him. Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Oh, a word? A word?
Oh, are we the boys? I just want to make sure. Are we the boys? Are we, in fact, them boys? Let's see.
Kobe, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, coming into this season, we'll keep track. Coming into this season, I said, I'll put it on myself. I said, if things don't change this year, heads will roll. People will lose their job. Heat will be on. That's what happened. Luke Walton lost his job. Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield were moved out of here. Marvin Bagley were moved out of here. Who knows? De'Aaron Fox might have been close to being moved out of here. This was a pressure cooker this year. Ain't nothing changed next year. Absolutely ain't nothing changed. De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis, all these guys, they gotta find a way to figure it out. So I don't know what y'all think this is, but ain't nothing changed.
Okay, we are in fact in boys.
Our guy Brett. Love working with Brett.
Oh, Brett got our hoodies. I don't know if Rick did. Steelo and KC brought to you by McQueen and the Violet Fog, the smoothest gin in the world, handcrafted in Brazil. I mentioned, and we're going to get back to the Kings and all of that. We were trying to keep you updated on everything going on in the National Football League. The myth of the salary cap continues for the Los Angeles Rams as they signed Allen Robinson to a 3-year, $45 million deal that has $30 million guaranteed. The kicker is Schefter follows that up with Rams still have money left over for Odell Beckham Jr.
You guys, y'all thought I was playing when I told you guys the Rams and the Seahawks have unlimited funds. They don't deal with the salary cap, and they get whatever draft picks they needed. Y'all thought I was just playing. Y'all thought I was salty, being a hater. No, as you can see now, this is how it goes in the NFL. Rams, Seahawks, they don't deal with the salary cap.
916-349-1320. Let's get to our man JT here. JT, appreciate your patience, man. What's going on, brother?
Oh, no worries, guys. How y'all doing today?
We good. We good. We a little on edge, JT, but we good.
And I can tell a lot of that the slander of De'Aaron Fox is getting pretty ridiculous nowadays.
I agree.
Reason why I called, I know you guys were talking about Baker Mayfield. I don't know if we could say the B word on here, but just like Britt Baker from AEW has the DMD, I'm giving Baker the tag of BMB for B Made Baker. I don't know why anybody's very surprised on this being how sensitive Baker Mayfield is. Matter of fact, I'm actually kind of shocked that it took Cleveland that long to figure it out, especially saying that they need an adult now. Well, they've had a man-child since he came out of college, and I've still yet to see a good quarterback come out of Oklahoma. Kyler Murray was doing well, and then he started showing a little bit of his sensitivity as well. So it's going to be interesting seeing Baker Mayfield wherever it is he goes. He's going to be a backup somewhere, I'm sure, but wanted to see what you guys thought about Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, JT, we can answer that for you right now. He's going to be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, as Cleveland has told Baker Mayfield's camp they're not accommodating his request.
Do you believe them?
I believe they'd love to accommodate his request.
Yes.
I just don't know that there's a market to accommodate his request.
They're trying to create a market to accommodate his request.
But they are also probably like, let's just get through this last year with Baker as the quarterback. Just keep it moving. Figure out what to do after that.
What a mess.
Yeah, I think Baker may have overplayed his hand a little bit here.
Baker tends to always overplay his hand. He
had Ralph Tresvant blaring in the background. Sensitivity.
That's exactly what he had going on. Baker he always I don't know, man. I feel like Baker is never really, I don't know. I don't want to sound, I don't know. I just feel like he's always worried about stuff that don't really matter, instead of just looking in the mirror saying,
like the Browns' pursuit of Deshaun Watson.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like I got to
focus on being better. And I want to, I know, I feel like I've stalled everybody out today for some people. I'm not stalling Baker out, but I do feel like it's important to last year's story. He did play hurt, like for basically the entire year. They had no other option other than him. And that's given them, I think they wound up finishing in the vicinity. I know you can't finish 500 anymore. They finished in the vicinity of 500. I don't remember if it was 7-9 or that's impossible. Maybe it was 8 and 9. I don't remember what it was, but he got them in a fairly decent position. They weren't eliminated in the playoffs till late. I think and most Cleveland Browns fans had higher hopes for that team last year.
And they got not just ravaged with COVID situations, health and safety protocols. They got screwed by it in a couple of occasions. Particularly when it comes to my mind is that Raiders game. That was tough.
Ooh.
And then he had nothing. He wasn't even able to play in that game.
Yeah.
So there's that. And like I said, Baker Mayfield, he's not a scrub or anything like that. I don't look at him like that. But I also don't look at him as a leader of a franchise.
I don't think he's backup yet, though. I don't think he's a backup. I think Baker has done enough to earn the right to. I think Baker has earned the right. I should say he's done enough to start somewhere. Mm-hmm. I don't know how. Like the unique Baker's contract. Like Baker's due for a deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what that deal looks like.
And that's the other aspect of it. And I know you say it's just the market or whatever. There's no way I would pay Baker Mayfield what Josh Allen or anywhere close to what Josh Allen got. You haven't achieved those type of heights. I think
a lot of Cleveland people thought that he was. Or maybe it's just the Cleveland people I know.
Man, but like even if they thought that he was, you have not achieved those heights. Yeah. You haven't sniffed what Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, who doesn't even have a deal, has done. You hadn't even sniffed that. There's no way that you should. I mean, you can think whatever you want, but in actuality, like you're not on the same level as those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. No argument from me whatsoever. 916-349-1320. Let's get Pablo in here. Pablo, what's good, baby?
Hey, what's up, my guys? It's been a minute.
What's going on, man? Yes, sir. I'll just touch my hands. What's going on, man?
I'm over here doing dishes, dude. I take you guys everywhere, really. But you said you're edgy, so I had to kind of say something to make you guys laugh about De'Aaron.
What's
Two
good?
things, actually. He's helped me with my job burnout, number one. He's all burnt out. Now he's revitalized all mine. But the second thing is, we got to stop calling him Foxy. I mean, where did that come from? I think it gave a duck picture, whatever. But I hear Foxy, I'm hearing Jimi Hendrix, Foxy Lady, or I'm hearing Pam Grier, Foxy Girl. When I do that order, see the air in my mind when I hear Foxy. That's what he wants. But
my thought is that came from, if I had to guess, it came from Doug Christie. Didn't Doug Christie used to call him Foxy on the call every now and then? Or was it just Drapes?
I thought it was. I actually thought it was Mark.
I don't feel like I've heard Mark
doesn't call him Foxy, huh?
Oh no.
Jesse says Alvin calls him that. I don't remember. Maybe it was DC.
Yeah, I feel like it was Doug.
Poor Pablo. He at home. He hears Foxy and he's looking for Pam Grier on the television. Instead, he gets De'Aaron Fox.
A couple of months ago, it was more than that, maybe a year ago, I actually watched one of those Pam Grier movies for the first time, like the blaxploitation movie.
Yeah, those joints are wild.
I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, those joints are wild.
This is crazy.
You go back and you watch like Foxy Brown is one. I think what's the other one? Coffee. Dude, even watching Shaft back is. That's a wild era of movie making. Yeah, it's something.
Now, see, also the other part about this is no disrespect to the legend.
Oh my,
and the queen and the goddess that is Pam Grier. But I'm of a different age, and Foxy Brown is Foxy Brown to me. Foxy Brown, like get you home tonight.
Yeah,
I know where it came from.
No,
well,
I'm
just telling you where it comes from. If I hear Foxy Brown, I don't think about the movie. I promise you that.
You got to reprogram your brain. That's unacceptable. It's unacceptable.
No.
Foxy Brown. Foxy Brown was what, like 16 months?
Oh no, stop it. Stop.
Damn. Stop nothing. 16 months.
No, Foxy.
I don't even know that I can say the name of her first album on the air, but you
That's
got
why I didn't
that
say
one.
it. I was about to, and I said I'm not going to say that.
And then you got the other joint, which was a big decline from the unmentionable record.
Mm-hmm.
No. You got to fix that.
I'm
Talk to your mama.
I'm gonna tell you.
Cheryl,
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now because this is disrespectful. Foxy Brown is a hip hop legend. She's a hip hop pioneer.
Stop it! Will you stop?
She's not.
Stop. No.
How is she not?
Absolutely not.
How's she not?
Absolutely. What did she pioneer?
The everything that Kim gets associated with. Foxy
She didn't pioneer anything.
What do you mean she didn't pioneer?
No, she didn't. I'm sorry. I will say this again. She did not pioneer anything. Was she Christopher Columbus? She showed up at something that was already there. What, MC Light doesn't exist?
No,
Queen Latifah doesn't exist?
You're not hearing me. They was out there in the baggy cross colors. Having given a different look. That's Foxy and Kim. Absolutely.
She don't get pioneer status.
That's disrespectful.
That is not disrespectful.
Disrespectful.
You don't get pioneer status. You can
give her
something. No.
To give it a different look and a different vibe to a female MC, Kim and Foxy ushered that in.
I refuse.
100%.
I refuse. I will not get. I
don't know if you were outside.
You need to see my driver's license.
I don't think you were outside. I don't think you were outside. You weren't at Cal Skate.
I'm sorry.
You weren't out Cal Skate though.
Refresh my memory, youngster. Tell me how old you were when the unmentionable Foxy Brown CD came out. Your ass wasn't old enough to buy it. Calm down. She is not a pioneer.
Hey, you weren't at Cal Skate on Saturday nights. You weren't outside. You weren't outside. It was just me and Mike out there. You know what I'm saying? Cal Skate on Saturday nights. You wasn't outside. Baby.
You out. You lost it. I don't even know what to do right now. I'm so.
And she had bars. I didn't even talk about her bars. She had bars.
Oh, no, she could go.
She had bars.
I thought Kim was better, but she could go.
I liked Kim better because she was closer affiliated to Bad Boy. That was my thing. Puff all that. But I love Foxy. Absolutely love Foxy.
Boy, you're listening to D-Lo. There are some people who have no clue what's happening right now, and my sincerest apologies to all of you. PDX, if you're listening, get used to it, bro. Like I don't know. You're listening to D-Lo and KC on ESPN 1320 KIFM West Sacramento KRXQ HD2 Sacramento, an Odyssey station, and driven by Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge. It's D-Lo and D-Lo only here for the remainder of the day.
Don't be mad at me because I was out there,
talking about out at Cal Skate.
You wasn't out there trying to get a couple skate.
No, because I was
trying to get a couple.
You damn right I wasn't at Cal Skate because I was a grown ass man.
You weren't a grown ass.
I was a grown ass man, dog. What are you talking about?
You were at best.
You little 12-year-old ass skating around a Foxy Brown. I'm 18 years old.
You weren't out there trying to get a couple skate. Come on, man. Come on. I was outside.
Damn right. I was getting into the 18-year-old clubs. I was in the jukebox.
I was in the trenches trying to get that number on a piece of paper, trying to turn that couple skate into a number. I was in the trenches.
Big news. D-Lo is looking for a new partner. You can apply here.
Hit that Stone Cold. Hit that last break. See this guy, man. See, I can't tell this guy
nothing. You know better, bro.
Tell him nothing, man.
You all know better. I don't know why you do that. Woosah. Let's regroup here.
Oh, man.
We're all in this together. All right. Let's go. How about this? Explain to me why Chuck Liddell and Brett Favre were in your seats last night.
Well, I can't.
That was someone text me, "Hey, you at the game?" I'm like, nah. Is Brett Favre there? It's like, what sort of question is that? And then he sends me a tweet. Brett Favre sitting there courtside. What? Why? What? I'm not even fascinated with why Brett Favre was there. I'm more fascinated with how he got there. Like, was Brett on the farm and just thought, You know what would be fun?
No, we need to know why he was here.
I absolutely need to know
We
why.
need to know why he's here. Somebody needs to reach out, talk to us. Why the hell was Brett Favre there? Brett Favre, Chuck Liddell. I was thinking about this earlier. I mean, they're in the top 5 of random celebrities at a Kings game.
And you know,
Top
like
5.
like
Better
back,
5.
and I can't remember if it was KSFM or the Bomb. I think it was the Bomb. They used to do like the Funky 4 plus one more.
Yeah.
So it'd be like the top 4 songs, but then you get one more. This might have to be a top 5 list plus 5, because this is like a lengthy list of just random people who have landed. I didn't quite have Kenny seats, but I had nice. I was sitting behind Jamie Foxx.
That's random.
Like, what the hell is Jamie Foxx doing here?
That's random. I mean,
Ray Charles. Like, what the hell?
It's Ray Charles. That one. I mean, off the top of my head, obviously you got Drake. Rose was here, but did he have a show here? See, that's what makes it more random. If they got a show, they're in town for something. That's not as crazy. Drake just was here just to be here. Favre is up there. He's
I'm
definitely up there.
I'm getting a message from John Bull.
Okay.
He says he was apparently there because his daughter has a volleyball tournament here. What sort of volleyball team does she play for?
Well, I will say this.
They travel like that in volleyball?
Travel volleyball is a monster. It's a monster.
Apparently.
So, it's a monster.
Follow-up question, John. I don't know if you've got the answer to this. Did they charter? Well, was like Brett Favre like the middle seat in Southwest to get here? I need more information.
I heard there's actually like a really, really nice facility in Roseville. I think that's where it's at.
For volleyball?
Mm-hmm. I think that's where it's at.
Okay.
Yeah, travel volleyball is a monster. I can say that. But yeah,
so Favre, Chuck Liddell. It doesn't appear Chuck Liddell trains the way he used to, but Chuck Liddell used to train.
Hey, Chuck, he said it.
No, I mean, hey, Chuck Liddell enjoying retirement. Let the brother enjoy his retirement. I'm just saying. He used to. There's a brother. What's my man's name? I feel like his name is Cassio, but I'm not positive. I remember meeting Chuck, Tito Ortiz, and Randy Couture because they were all training down here. I don't imagine that's why he's still here, but I mean, not still here. I don't imagine that's why he's here, period. But I don't know. That's high on the random list. That's high on the random list right there.
Yeah, I would. Brett Favre's in that top 5 most rando though.
Mm-hmm.
Top 5 most rando.
Yeah.
I know people say Floyd. Floyd is on there. Floyd had a relationship with IT though. I still don't know why he went to the Kings games, but he's in Sacramento.
Yeah,
it's cool.
I got a follow up from John. I don't know why John knows all this stuff, but I trust him.
John knows a little bit of everything.
He does. He says the only information I have, and it makes it even more weird. Liddell and Favre came together, so perhaps Chuck Liddell has a daughter on the travel volleyball team. That would
be my thought. That would be my thought.
I hope so. Yeah. That would make more sense. That's a hell of a volleyball. That's a hell of a traveling volleyball team, though. And and is this in like? And they just happen to be playing Milwaukee?
Well, see, the other weird thing about that, and I guess, maybe the tournament started today, but on a Wednesday, usually these tournaments are Friday.
Well, could have started
Sunday.
Today.
Yeah, it could have started today. Yeah.
Or maybe they were just like, let's get to Sacramento and watch the Milwaukee Bucks.
I don't even know if it went that far.
I don't know.
I don't know who figured out they were out here. I think somebody reached out to them. They didn't reach out to the Kings. I could be wrong. I don't know. It's just a guess.
But hey, Chuck Liddell, it's the Sacramento Kings. How would you and a guest like to Come to our basketball game. Oh, great. Brett Favre is with me.
But look here. That's not a move that should be looked over. If I was Vivek, if I was owning the Kings, I absolutely would reach out to different famous people, and I might even pay them. I'll pay for their airfare and all that other stuff, put them up in the Sawyer and come sit courtside. I might do it once a homestand. You think Jamie Foxx is weird? Wait till you see Jacquees sitting courtside with Kenny as the owner.
People will be like, who's that next to Kenny? They weren't the only two that were there last night. Your man's. The Kings legend and former general manager Vlade Divac was there.
And I'm interested to see, because obviously it didn't show on the broadcast. I wasn't in the building last night. I think I saw John talking about it. And if I remember correctly, John, let us know what you say. He said it was an interesting crowd reaction to Vlade being there. And, it got cheered. There might have been some smatterings of stuff, whatever the case may be. But to me personally, Damon, it should only be cheers. It should only be cheers. I'm not here for the whole Vlade was a bad GM, so let's boo him thing. No. Vlade Divac means too much to this franchise's history in a positive way for that to still be the situation. We got a new GM in here. We got a new era. Like we've moved on. I understand if it was half the season after he retired and it's still fresh. From here on out, Vlade Divac steps foot in Sacramento or into the Golden One Center, it should be nothing but love. That's just how I say it.
I'm okay with that. I actually agree with that. I also think time and place is important. I think virtually everyone will be able to put that general manager stint out of your head. I also think it's important how you introduce him to the crowd, assuming, of course, he's introduced to the
former
crowd.
Sacramento King legend.
That's it. That's it. That's it. 100%. You just erase it from history. You pretend like it didn't happen.
Just scrub it.
Hey, Mulligan, just whatever. Men in Black Light, bang. Sacramento Kings legend.
Yeah.
NBA Hall of Famer. Vlade Divac.
Yes.
That's what you do. Like, I don't think you have to acknowledge he was the Kings' former general manager. And I think, I really don't believe, I think there are a lot of people who are still, and rightfully so, I understand, in a frustrated state with this franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets a part of, he gets lumped into that frustration because it's still recent. Like, it's still new. It's still an open wound, if you will. It hasn't healed. And I think the reaction will be significantly different. I think you'll get the universal applause as we get further away from it. And hopefully this franchise turns in a more positive direction.
Yeah, I hope so too. Does he still live here? Does anybody know?
I believe so.
Good.
I believe, don't know for sure. Someone told me when I was in the area. I think he's in the Arden Hills-ish area.
Vlade, you always got a home here in Sacramento. That's coming from your boy KC. Right.
Well, Vlade's very wealthy. He can have homes in multiple different countries and different areas if he wants to. Yeah, he doesn't. Yes, he doesn't. He does not need Kenny Caraway's permission to have a home anywhere. But I completely agree with you, and I think you're right. John says it was a mix of cheers and boos. Boos were pretty loud. Since I couldn't tell him my boo is for his GMing, I cheered. That's pretty funny.
The boos, and look, man. I'm just saying how I feel about it. Don't boo Vlade no more. For the young people out here, who weren't outside like Davion in 1999. Okay, we ain't
That's right. I was preparing for my career.
Hey, I'm telling you, David went out there trying to get that couple skate.
This dude said Foxy Brown is a pioneer, dude.
He is a pioneer.
I'm floored, dude. I just don't think I'm going to be able to recover from this.
Your Cardi B's, your Nicki Minaj's, and Meg Thee Stallion. They all go back to what Kim and Foxy laid down is the groundwork. Remember, that wasn't. It's not like it is nowadays. That wasn't the norm when Kim and Foxy were doing it. They were on the cover of Vibe.
But I can't give you pioneer status.
That's Pioneer. They was the first to do it. They were the first to do it.
Yeah, I just no, I can't, and I won't.
I'm gonna have to talk to Foxy and let her know what's going on out here, man.
Okay, you do that, bro. You talk to Foxy and you tell her about your couple skate while you're at it. We'll step out. We'll come back. I really don't know what we're doing next. My whole life is thrown. Oh, bad news for Kenny Caraway.
Oh no.
Yeah, we'll explain. It involves his beloved Raheem Mostert, though. That's coming up as D-Lo and Casey continue on Sacramento's #1 sports station, ESPN 1320.
There was something I was about to say. Can't remember. There's so much going on.
Pioneer, a person or group that originates or helps open a new line of thought or activity.
Come on now.
Or a new method or technical development.
Come on, man. Don't tell me that doesn't describe what Foxy and Kim did. You know I love, yeah. I love all the greats, all the MC Lights, the Queen Latifah. Come on, man. Come on. I love them.
Can't do it.
But when you talk about coming through with the 5-inch heels, with the way they were bringing the sex appeal into it, you didn't have to be a roughneck to rap. You could still be, pretty and all this other stuff and flaunt that. It was Foxy and Kim. And the ladies went with that and ran with it. Drake bars is pretty funny.
Wait, what? What happened?
Drake bars comment.
Oh no, I can't find it. Hang on. What up with Oaktown 357? How are funny. You got to start. I don't even see it.
I think that Howard wasn't even a rapper.
Dina, a freak like me.
Yeah, absolutely. She was a singer.
I can't find the Drake bars comment. I'm flustered.
And then I started. And then for all of you guys that are disrespecting Jacquees, y'all really ain't outside.
Oh, Drake. So I misunderstood. When you said Drake bars, I was looking for someone talking about your Drake bars. You're talking about the actual profile. Yeah. Drake bars. Gotcha.
That was hilarious.
I noticed. I know this is a typo, but it's funny. Zach King says, Asian Howard was a singer, bro. Yeah. It's funny, like I can see that and know what he meant, but still, it's funny. Yeah. Thank you, Jasmine.
Oh, Jazz.
Thank you, Jasmine.
She'll never agree with me.
No, I like him. I respect it, and do believe they were influential to what we hear today. But what we hear today took it to a different
fire.
Is
the Cuzzo says Jay-Z wrote that whole thing.
We like the cars that go boom. Man, God, you literally send the dumbest shit. Ramsey, you can't be serious. Ramsey trolling now. He like Ben. Ramsey just trolling. He being funny. He telling ha-has. Oh man, Ramsey telling Ramsey. Woo, Ramsey telling ahas.
BCR.
Man.
BCR. Now you need to calm down, Jesse.
Angie. No, that's okay. Angie was an afternoon drive host.
She still got a show.
Not on Hot 97, does she?
She's on Power 105.
Okay, yeah. She had an afternoon drive show on Hot 97 back in the day. She moved over to Power 105. She made records along the way too. I have a picture of me and Angie Martinez somewhere. She came through and hang out at the studio. Can y'all hit the thumbs up, please? D-Lo begging for likes, brought to you by DaveGarciaDesigns.com. Can y'all hit the thumbs up? This is bad, Joe. I just don't know, man. I don't know how to get through the rest of this day. It's a while. People just firing off takes. It all started with De'Aaron. Now it's gone over to Angie Martinez. Like, this is just, I don't know. I don't know what to do with today.
Some respect for the radio queen.
Pioneers,
would she be a pioneer?
I can't pretend I know enough. Yeah, I can't pretend I know enough to say. Yes
where in my, I don't know. I just don't know, because that was the first female radio host, hip hop radio host that I was aware of all the way out here in California. Does that mean she was the first? I don't know. I don't know if she was or not, but that's the first one that I was aware of.
She's important. Like she's an important part of hip hop history. Like she'll always have, the Tupac interview that people have talked about for 3 decades almost now. The interview she did with Tupac that never aired, that she just said, I can't air it. It's too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you could still find articles that say she's going to release it. She's going to write about it. I don't think she ever did. I don't think it's out there anywhere. I think she kept it. So I mean, it's fair, but I won't pretend to know enough.
Did real quick, did you see what that new penthouse at the Sawyer is going for? Did you see that article?
Nah, those articles don't get delivered to people in my tax bracket. So you tell me, you tell me what they look like. How was the tour? What did your real estate agent think? Did she think it was a proper investment for you and you and Jasmine? Yeah, I don't get those calls.
Well, let me say it is not a proper investment for me. It's just it's really not. I think it's like 4.3 million to sit at the top, to have a penthouse at the top of the Sawyer.
Nope.
Overlooking downtown Sacramento. You got floor to ceiling windows in the balcony.
I love Sacramento. Love it. You ain't going. No.
4.3 mil.
If I'm dropping
I
4,
said, what?
If I'm dropping 4, there's land, there's a pool, there's a spa, there's a gym, there's a waterfall.
There is a gym in there too, but there is no waterfall.
My gym, not a gym that all of us can go to together.
I think it's yours.
Mine.
If I saw the room correctly,
call your real estate agent and ask. Find out. Like, you got to ask these questions when people present you with these investment opportunities.
4.3. It's either 4.3 or 4.8. Either way,
I think that's less. I think that's less than what Raheem Mostert signed for.
Actually, unfortunately for him, it's more than what he signed for.
That's what I meant to say. I blew the joke. That's 100% what I meant to say.
Damn, could have had him for less than a Sawyer penthouse.
Raheem Mostert signs with the Miami Dolphins. I know you're upset. It's okay. You didn't need Raheem Mostert back here. I like Raheem Mostert. You didn't need him back here. You'll be fine.
I'm not broken up by that. I'm not broken up. I would have liked to given him a try to come back, because I think it would have worked out. But yeah, he went to Miami. It's all good. We ain't tripping.
Yeah, it really.
I wish him the best. I do. I like Raheem Mostert.
Mm-hmm.
Mike McDaniels do work. Jesse, good luck to him. You know what I mean? But we move on. We look in the draft. You know, we maybe there's a trade here and there. It's nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are waiting for trades to be made from the San Francisco 49ers for sure. Nothing's been done. None of them were meant to involve Raheem Mostert. They were meant to involve Jimmy Garoppolo, but those are things that we just have not heard yet. With Raheem Mostert gone, your desire for a playmaker, do you want to shift your attention back to the aging Julio Jones?
I absolutely want to look at Julio Jones. Absolutely. The question is, quite frankly, is Julio washed? I don't think so, but it's got to be a question. It's got to be considered when you also talk about what kind of deal you're going to give him.
Well,
I don't think he's washed, and I don't think, especially in what he's being asked to do here in San Francisco, I think he'd be fine. We're not asking him to be Julio Jones
that's
carry
exactly what I was
to
going to say.
the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. You can redefine what Julio Jones's role is. Perhaps more importantly than Julio, and you obviously keep those doors open. You're talking about trades. We're Raheem Mostert gone, knowing, you're really kind of, and this is a year-to-year thing with guys like this, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel. You're flirting with potentially missing games, right? Again, I understand this is football. You're doing that with everybody. But the way Deebo plays, the way George Kittle plays, with the physicality and explosiveness and the invitation of violent contact that those guys play with, that's part of the reason you've longed for another playmaker. I don't even know if there are efforts, so doubling down on efforts may be an insincere statement. Oh man, you call Carolina. I was thinking more about our conversation yesterday about Christian McCaffrey. I saw that Raheem Mostert thing pop up. Now I don't think about Raheem Mostert the way that you do, but I also thought, man, that explosive playmaker that Kenny talks about, man, if there's an avenue to do it, and you got to explore it. And I mean, with a fine-tooth comb, you got to explore this joint. You got to see if Christian McCaffrey is legitimately available and if you could possibly make a move for him.
I agree, man. I agree. And that's the game-changing move. Look, we're seeing it right now with the Rams. The Rams don't care about none of this stuff. They're like, yo, is it within the rules for us to sign? Sure, let's do it. Draft picks, we'll worry about that in 3 years. And they did all this and they won a Super Bowl. And I know the 49ers, John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, they're trying to be financially responsible and plan out for Bosa's extension and Debo's extension. And they don't want to, they're worried about losing Al-Shire. They got to find a way. Nah, man. Play year to year. Play year to year. That's really I'm saying. Play year to year at this point until you get that championship. Because right now, preparing yourself for the future, it's getting you in those conversations. It's getting you in those situations where you're in the ballpark, but you can never bring it home because you're always one player short, one position short. You need high-end talent, like super high-end talent, to be able to bring this thing home or have a better chance to do it. Like they could have done it last year, but everybody knew they were missing a dynamic player at the quarterback position, or maybe just didn't have enough to withstand a Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham in the secondary. Hey, put together a team that is going to be ready to compete against the Rams, because that's what you're looking at right now.
916-349-1320. Let's get to our man Mitch here. Mitch, what's good, buddy?
How's it going, Damon? KC, how you guys doing? I want to know, do you stand out when you do your little comedy? That was pretty fun with the Coke, going back an hour here. But anyway, okay. All right, I crack a good one every once in a while. Hey, I was shocked that Jones didn't sign with the 49ers. He signed with the Raiders. They stole Chandler Jones.
I heard the Niners were in on Chandler Jones. I was
wondering that.
Somebody said the Raiders came with more money.
I guess that was it. And then they go trade Nigua. I don't know how to say his last name. He was good. I mean, you got to have at least two good. You have a good defense line. It's very important. You see what both bowlers have. A lot of teams are just be copying them. I mean, it's a good idea. And KC, I got a little baseball form for you. How you like my Freddie Freeman? He's a full-time player, unlike Jock Peterson. Only hits against righties. You know, like Kyle Irvington. They can only, he can't get his little shots there. How you like Freddie Freeman coming home, baby?
Well, Mitch, like
Okay.
I told the professor
that
Jason
guy.
Jones last night, and it upset him, but it's a fact.
Mhm.
We're playing 162 now, and we all know what happens to the Dodgers when you play 162. You don't get the job done. This ain't no AAU. This ain't no volleyball tournament where you can win a World Series that way. That's not what this is no more. This
With
is
all due respect to
162.
Brett Favre's daughter.
All due respect, but it just is what it is. This is 162. And it's been proven time and time again, Dodgers don't win no World Series in 160. So good signing. Good signing. Freddie Freeman is a good ball player. But I mean, we know how this is gonna end. We all know how it's gonna end. And it ain't with no Dodgers parade. That just is what it is. And then the professor got upset with me, said, "Why are you always bringing that up?" I was like, "Look, if they win in a regular season, in a real season, I won't have nothing to say no more." But they haven't, and they probably won't again this year. So I'll be talking again.
Boy, don't get on
Good
Casey's
signing, though.
bad side today. He's coming for everybody. First it was Ben, then it was Mio, and now it's Dodger fans. I know he ain't coming for Big Al though. Big Al, what's happening? Big Al, what you doing?
Big Al.
Yeah. Well, okay. One, I don't want to insult the Kings. I would love to insult my Lakers, but you don't want to hear about Lakers, but they're terrible. So there's one thing today, Casey, and I love what you said for the Dodger fan. I'm a little bit excited for the Giants. I mean, they're just doing their business in a different way. And if you can stay healthy, or if you have the guys that can rotate back and forth there to Sacramento and back, they can do well. I'm not looking at 107, but hey, if they win 95 to 98, that's a great season too.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can get some arms. I like a couple of the acquisitions they made. Listen, we can't Giant fans, and they have money, but it's not their style. And I get it. I get it for the Giants. They have the money, but just don't believe it. Because, like you said, a couple of those Dodger guys go down. They have fingernail problems or whatever. They're sunk.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the depth anymore. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I'll talk to you more. I didn't want to talk football. We'll wait till later on for that. So
real quick, Big Al.
Call back later? Like, what you mean?
Big Al,
I call you every hour on the hour if I could.
Yeah. Big Al, who you got winning the NCAA tournament? Aren't you a UCLA?
Yeah, March Madness. You mean, who do I think? Oh man, I used to be I ran the pool at my work for like 7 years. You won a couple of those. You got to put time into, and you got to really study a lot of the teams. So my heart says my team that I love is UCLA, but I don't think they're strong enough. It's hard for me to see. Don't you think, KC, being a baller, don't you think in the last couple of years especially, it seems like there's 2 or 3 teams, not 7s, 8s, 10s, 12s, that's not true, but, a 2, 3, 4 even seeds, they have a lot more chance opportunities than it was like in my era 20 years ago. It's only the blue bloods, really.
Yeah, there's no dominant teams out there. You'll be happy to know I have UCLA going to the national championship game, and Roddy will be happy to know I have them losing to Arizona in the national championship game.
Okay,
Arizona,
good stuff.
Winning it all.
Good stuff. My Final Four is weird. I can't really remember it. I did try to put some thought into it. I do not want to embarrass myself in our bracket pool. Great to hear from you, Big Al, by the way.
Yeah, for sure. At least this is something that neither you or I will stop playing in the middle of it.
yeah. I think next year the football pool will be much better because the start of last season there was game day, like there was all sorts of stuff going on.
I'm gonna be locked in. I'm playing all the way through next year.
Now that's over, we could have some damn fun in that playoff pool.
I did tell everybody that Michigan, the 11th seed, was going to beat Colorado State.
Acknowledge me.
Okay, I did too. What's that mean? You're going what is happening? You going to acknowledge me too? Do we got to drop where Roman says,
Acknowledge me.
boy, pat this man on the back. Do you want to address your Giants for a little bit? Have the Giants done enough?
No, they haven't done enough. They did a little bit. The Jock Peterson sign. That's going to be a nice little signing for him. I don't expect it to be this game changer, but he
once was a big time ball player.
Mm-hmm. He got started. He got started with the Dodgers and was on fire. He was a hell of a ball player. Some would even say, at one point, his career mirrored that of Foxy Brown, where he was hot. Right, he was hot. He was that dude, and then he just fell off.
Fizzled out.
Just fizzled out.
Yeah.
But he had
Jock Peterson a pioneer.
Well, I mean, he is wearing pearls. Nobody else was doing that. But he had a big playoff run with the Braves last year. He got locked in with the Braves at a big playoff run. Like Ramsey says, he is coming home. He's a Bay Area guy. I gotta watch more of him. I think even though his bat has slowed down a little bit over the years, and it's not what it was when he first jumped in, I think his glove is still A1. He's still a pretty good defender, and I think that'll help in that big outfield out at Oracle Park. I like him. I don't know if he's an everyday player. Like, I don't know if he'll play against lefties. So they need a little bit more. They got to find one more bat. I like what they have right now. I really like the starting pitching, and I like that bullpen. I like our manager Gabe Kapler managing all that. Mm-hmm. My guy Gabe Kapler,
of course. But
I want a bat, one more bat or two. And this is all assuming that, the soon-to-be GOAT, Helio Ramos, does not come up this year. Because if he were, that's the bat right there. Helio is the bat.
Okay. Can we address something else Big Al brought up? Sort of. He brought up the Lakers. I don't really care about the Lakers. We talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves here for a minute. So I just like to remind the Minnesota Timberwolves of something. It's nice that they're 41-30 right now, and they're headed towards a good, solid playing appearance. But when you're clowning Russell Westbrook, you're punching out of your weight class. Let's talk about something right here. Last year, your sorry-ass squad was 23-49. The year before, y'all were 19-45. The year before that, you were 36-46. The year before that, Tom Thibodeau, Jimmy Butler dragged your sorry ass to a playoff appearance on the last day of the regular season. The year before that, you were 31-51, 29-53, 16-66. Sit down. You're punching out of your weight class. You don't go at goats like Russell Westbrook. You could go ahead and punch a man while y'all want to push your chest up and punch a man while he's down. All good. Remember that next year when your sorry asses are 30-42 again. Y'all have made the playoffs once in the last. There is one Jimmy Butler signing that's making you less of a laughing stock than the Sacramento Kings. Sacramento Kings go out and beat the Los Angeles Lakers. The Sacramento Kings go out and beat the Los Angeles Lakers in triple overtime. They out clowning LeBron James?
No.
Sacramento Kings beat the Los Angeles Lakers the second time. They out there clowning LeBron James? No, because this team's got some damn sense. Minnesota Timberwolves ain't got no sense. Sit down. And Russell Westbrook handled that right. He's like, please, you think I'm going to respond to that? This team ain't done nothing in this league.
The only one, in my opinion, that should be saying anything, and I love Karl Anthony Towns. I think he's a great ball player, great center. Patrick Beverly, calm down, because you're the reason the Clippers didn't do anything in the bubble. Been washed. And I like Pat Bev. But I told you, when Pat Bev came out there with the big 21 chain, I said, oh, it's done. He think he big time. He think he one of them dudes. He's not that anymore.
He also accidentally acknowledged on Twitter he doesn't know how trades work when he said him, Karl Anthony Towns, and I don't remember what the prospective trade acquisition was, but it was clear if the Minnesota Timberwolves were going to get him, his ass was gone. Like, come on. And that's a damn shame, too, because I did like Pat Bev, but I don't have no problem.
Oh, God.
I get him. I get him. Don't bother me a bit.
Pat Bev, calm down. To me, the only one in Minnesota that should be poking their chest out and should be looking at it like, hey, things are different because I'm around now is my man Ant-Man. Because obviously he's the game changer. Ant-Man is the game changer, and he's the one that should be poking his chest out. Everybody else, calm down, sit down, and just keep playing games. That's all you do.
Gonna make me root against the Minnesota Timberwolves.
And look, Damian, I'm not saying I'm Damian Barling with this, but the disrespect of Russell Westbrook needs to stop. The disrespect. It's not even acknowledging that he's having a down year right now. It's getting disrespectful. And it needs to stop. So I'm going to have a problem.
916-349-1320. Cole's on the line. He wants to talk to you.
Cole want to talk to me?
Yeah.
Nah, I want to talk to y'all. What's up, fellas? Hey, look, I've been waiting for y'all to bring up Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? They out here slandering my boy Russ. Y'all just said everything I was going to say. And let me tell you this. Cat, too. Did y'all see that post about Cat talking about he scored 60 points on the all-time winningest head coach? Like Greg Popovich was out there playing on the court. They doing all this damn talking just to get beat in the first round. You know what I'm saying?
And they not even make the first round.
Oh, well, yeah, you're right, whatever it is. And Pat Bev, look, I respect his hustle, you know what I'm saying? I love defense and whatnot, but, dog, you can't hold Russ jockstrap. You know what I'm saying? And Cat over here looking all when Russ shot the air ball from the corner, like, calm down, man. Y'all dudes, who are y'all? Like, relax. So anyways, y'all already said everything I had to say, but the disrespect got to stop. Holler.
It's got to stop. Holler.
I was about to say, Cole, that's the least dumb thing you've ever said. Then he threw in the holler, and now I'm just conflicted at what to say to Cole. Cole, out. I forgot. That ain't even Cole. You ain't even Cole to me. You Albert. You Cole to Kenny. You Albert to me. Cole on my bad side. He Albert.
He was spitting facts there, though. Minnesota.
That's what I said. It's the least
settle
dumb thing
down.
he's ever said.
Settle down.
Calm down.
Yeah, nice little story that you. Like I said, I have no problem with them feeling good about being where they're at, but be respectful. Show some respect, because you've been a laughing stock and an abomination, and I can argue you've been more of an abomination for the last 20 years than the Sacramento Kings.
Just one trade changed it. That was it.
And Minnesota Timberwolves on top of that had 3 number 1 picks.
How many did the Kings have?
None.
Oh.
So, calm down. Calm down, Minnesota.
Minnesota's 41-30 right now, a game and a half back from the Denver Nuggets. Timberwolves have won 3 in a row. Los Angeles Lakers 29-40. I don't know how this is possible, but the Sacramento Kings lost again last night. They just don't win games very often. They certainly don't win consecutive games. How are they still only 4 games back from New Orleans? That lead has not grown in weeks.
It hasn't. And I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. I'm going to the old trusty notebook, because I said, hey, final 25 games, Kings going 14-11. As of right now, because I had them losing the Bucks game last night, they're 2 games behind that pace. There's a good number of games here after Sunday. Well, I'll put it to you like this. You've
got them winning tomorrow, by the way, right?
I do have them winning tomorrow. After Sunday, a loss to the Suns. I got them winning 4 or 5. If this continues or the Pelicans can't get rid of them.
Oh, stop this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do
And look, after 4 or 5, you know who I have who they play after that, and I have them losing to right now?
Is it the Pelicans game? Because isn't there one left against the Pelicans?
Yeah, I got them winning that game. Nope, the game before that. It's the Warriors. Stephless Warriors.
Oh, we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Can you give me the 4 or 5? I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know much past. I don't remember much
at
past Sunday.
Indiana.
Okay.
At Orlando.
Yeah, of course.
They'll lose to the Heat, and they'll win back-to-back to the Rockets. They got 2 games against the Rockets. So all I'm saying is if the Pelicans don't get these guys like 5.5, 6 games back by that point, just the math is there. The math is there. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm assuming
it's just amazing that the lead has not grown. The differential
has been
has
that
not
way for like
grown.
what, a week and a half?
At the very least. Coming up for New Orleans, San Antonio tomorrow.
That's easy work.
Atlanta, Charlotte, Chicago. Those are their next 4 games. There's another San Antonio one in there. See, this is they've got a different schedule than the Sacramento Kings do. They've got the Lakers a couple of times in here. They got Portland in here. They got Portland. Yeah. They got Portland twice and the Lakers twice in here.
Yes, that's going to be the X factor. They're going at least 3-1 in those 4 games.
And they might not, and it'll still somehow be a 4-game differential between the Kings and the Pelicans.
Kings playing better basketball, though, man.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Kings playing better basketball. We want to hear from you as well. 916-349-1320. Coming back with more. It's D-Lo and KC here on Sacramento's #1 sports station, ESPN 1320.
By the way, officially, it's listed at $4.3 million for that penthouse at the top of the Sawyer. Is he looking suspect right now? Oh, they like those players.
You know who?
They like those kind of players.
That's their favorite player. You know who I have going really far in the tournament? Tennessee.
I think I got them in the Sweet 16 too.
I think I got Tennessee and my man Bruce Pearl going pretty far.
Yeah, I got Bruce in the Final Four. I got Tennessee losing to Villanova just because Jay Wright just always.
I think that's the one I had too.
Tennessee.
Yeah. Oh, I stand corrected. I do not. I have Tennessee beating Villanova.
Ooh.
I have Tennessee. I have Tennessee and Houston. And then have Houston winning that game.
Wait a minute. You got Houston knocking off Arizona?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. Kelvin Sampson.
I sure do. I needed to do something. Otherwise, I tried to. I mean, we're not going chalk here, right? So I tried to look at in Houston. I actually watched Houston play like once this year. So I felt like I was a Houston expert. I watched them once, like a whole. I watched the whole game. I might have watched 2 entire men's college basketball games all year. One of them was Houston. I can't even remember who they played.
That's how I feel.
And I think I found it on accident.
I watched them play. Well, yeah, I'm familiar. Yeah,
I'm locked in. Locked in. Oh man.
Let's see. Let me do a quick update. See if anybody is. If there's any movement in the D-Lo and KC bracket challenge.
There's movement on my end. I lost Boise State. I didn't have them beating Gonzaga, so it's no big deal. But
yeah, see, that's one you could afford to lose. No big deal.
It's not the way. But and I did that against my bet. I did that. I'm blaming Coach Katz for that one. I wouldn't even thought about. I would. Hey, come on, man. You think I'm gonna do that to your boy?
Stop disrespecting me, bro.
Hey, what me?
Don't do that.
It's Coach Katz. What me? We got sound from last night that we could use also. I forgot about.
Oh, my man Bo is in here. Shout out Bo. He's got
P tried to get in here, but she's a little late.
How are you guys at 2? And I'm at 2. I got 3 right. Show me some respect. Stop disrespecting me, bro. So I'm looking at the leaderboard and they show the points. And essentially everybody either has 2 or 1. Like those who picked. Maybe if they pick Colorado State, maybe they have a 1. But I'm like, I got 3 games right. Stop disrespecting me, bro.
How let just going to take a preemptive look at how far I got Iowa going. Okay.
Oh, somebody else, South Dakota winning.
I've got Iowa.
Alan Abuke. Let's see what they
that check marked right there. I got Providence.
He's got the Zags going all the way.
Who does?
You.
Oh yeah, I do. I don't. By the way, I do not love that at all.
Who you got? I'm playing Kentucky in the Final Four.
Yeah, Gonzaga, Kentucky, Houston, and keep your attention on the radio. We'll keep you covered on everything that's going on in the NCAA tournament. Any major upsets, we'll pass them along to you for sure. Our brackets were turned in last night, early this morning. Final four for me: Gonzaga, Kentucky, Kansas, and Houston.
That's a hell of a Final Four.
With Gonzaga and Houston playing in the national championship. I don't love it. I'm not proud of it. I don't believe it's going to win me a D'Lo and KC hoodie, but not that this is a contest. It's certainly not a contest, but we'll see. I'm one down. Coach Katz, blame it all on him. Damn it. I went against my better judgment. My sincerest apologies.
Stop disrespecting me, bro. Like, don't do that.
I picked Memphis. I didn't pick Memphis when I knew I should have picked Memphis. And I think I picked Memphis, went back and changed it to Boise State. Now I'm taking the L.
Well, I'm telling you right now, them boys in Gonzaga, if they can get past my other boys over at Georgia State, shout out to my man Mike Will, downtown Atlanta, stand up, Georgia State doing what they do. If Gonzaga can get past them, it's gonna be a battle on Saturday. Memphis and Gonzaga is gonna be a battle on Saturday. Penny gonna have them boys ready.
And why is that?
Stop asking me stupid questions.
All right. My bad. Sorry. I just thought you'd want to weigh in on that, Coach. It's me.
My Final Four, with that being said, is Gonzaga, UCLA, Arizona, and Auburn.
I was this close to getting my man Bruce Pearl into the Final Four.
Brother Bruce is going to have them boys ready.
Brother Bruce, indeed. Yeah. Brother Bruce, indeed.
The streets are telling me right now. I don't have it on me right now, but streets are telling me right now. Keegan Murray is looking like James Ham said he was.
Ooh, funny in the light. I don't think James used the phrase "funny in the light," but it'd be marvelous if he did.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I think Keegan's a good ball player.
That's one of your players to watch, though.
Yeah, it is.
Kings fans players to watch right there.
Absolutely.
You can watch the show live on twitch.tv/ESPN1320, youtube.com/ESPN1320. You can check us out on Facebook Live as well. We'll keep you updated not only on the NCAA tournament, but anything that may happen as the new NBA league year is underway. There's lots of drama, not necessarily movement. Josina Anderson reported that Seattle has some interest in Baker Mayfield and may explore that. Of course, Baker Mayfield told the Cleveland Browns he would like a trade. The Cleveland Browns told Baker Mayfield no. So that's off to a really productive start for that group right there. We'll see how that winds up turning out. You said right before the break, we were talking a little bit about the Sacramento Kings, and you'll hear from Donte DiVincenzo, Alvin Gentry, and Davion Mitchell here in just a heartbeat. But so you're still riding with this team not being far away. Mm-hmm. Jesse said something really interesting as we were talking before the show, that the floor for next year, and this isn't like the most overwhelmingly positive thing, but it was interesting given what we've seen on several occasions this year. The floor for next year may just be them competing. They're not punks anymore. Like they're going out there and competing, and I'm gonna stop short of floors and ceilings and predictions. I've got enough L's hanging on my jacket. I got enough. The scarlet letter is the L here on D'Lo and KC, and it's a purple L because we've taken so many of them. But you're still adamant this team's just right there, a few moves away, or a move away.
Yeah, I believe that. I absolutely believe that. And once again, I agree. Could be the first L for next year being taken right now. I understand that there is no reason to have any faith in the Sacramento Kings. I get it. But I look at this team and I look at the way they play. You know what I mean? I look at the way they play. Right now, they're a little outmanned. So you don't want to get too stuck on the wins and losses, because I didn't say they're a finished product. I said they're not that bad. They're a player or two away from being a really good team. But you look at what they have right now, and they play well against these teams. They played well for the most part in the stretch since the trade happened. Yeah, they've had some stinkers. They're letting games get away from them. We understand. I'm not saying they play perfect, but look at the last two games specifically, against Chicago, against Milwaukee. They battled with them. They've had big leads. They fought back. They've showed a level of toughness, like you talking about when competing, that it seems like they bring most nights, if not every night. And you combine that with some of the talent that they do have, then that's where I get, hey, you get a player or two in here, they can turn this thing around going into next season.
Yeah, it's. I hear you. Let's get to the phones. We'll get to that, and I mentioned you'll hear from Donte, Davion, and Alvin Gentry as well. 916-349-1320. Skitterman Brian in here. Brian, what's happening, bro?
Not much. I was actually pretty excited about last night watching the game.
Yeah.
First time I've actually seen some defense all around, and just the chippiness from everybody. They look a lot more physical than what they have been in the past, except for, just the last few minutes where they lost it. But I really feel like the refs gave it away too, with all the calls that were going the other way. We couldn't even get to the free throw line. But I love seeing DiVincenzo and the effort that he put in. I was hoping that he'd have a little bit more assists, though. He only had the one. And then I was trying to figure out what's going on with Fox with his hand. But I see them as a 40-win team next season. I was just seeing what you guys thought.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I mean, I don't necessarily want to put a number on it right now. But, I mean, I guess essentially if I think they're, a solid team or they're not far off, that's around where they'd have to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I guess in theory, you're 100% correct, being around 40 or something like that.
It's funny. I was thinking this as you were talking and kind of held back saying it. And then Brian started his call with, I was excited, for the game last night. And it's just so funny. This team is 25-46, right? They lost the game last night to the Milwaukee Bucks, and we're desperately searching for like these silver linings. And I don't think with that game you have to search too desperately. Like, it's right there in front of you. Like, they competed against one of the better teams in the league. And I think we all understand and acknowledge the roster is better than it was however many weeks ago. But this ain't the roster. Like, this isn't what is going to take us to the promised land of a 41-win season or whatever, a 500 season, a play-in spot, a playoff spot, whatever the case may be. 10 games over 500 like this year's Minnesota Timberwolves, as we were talking about the other day. But it's amazing how our expectations, this team scarred us in a way so frequently this season. This all happened this year. Luke Walton's firing, De'Aaron Fox is slumping, De'Aaron Fox losing his smile, Tyrese Halliburton and Davion Mitchell, Tyrese Halliburton being traded, Domantas Sabonis coming in, winning his first game as a Sacramento King, the entire fan base going crazy over that, the belief that a playoff spot is available, the belief that a play-in spot is available, the belief that we should be in the category of the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Houston Rockets. All of that happened this year. And this is, and I think part of last night is the rare mix of everybody walks away happy. We talked about the team being competitive. We talked about, I want to see this team do well. I'm not going to root for them losing. We've even gone over the numbers now where it's Sacramento and it's Indianapolis, or Indiana, excuse me. It's Sacramento and it's Pacers. That's it. That's what we're talking about here. They're not in the Orlandos and the Detroits and the Oklahoma Cities and Houstons. That's not how bad this team is. They're in a different category, and it's them and the Pacers. That's it. One of those two teams is going to have a better pre-draft lottery slot than the other one will. But if you are in the group of, I want to see them play, I want to see that, you're happy. If you're in the lose as many games as possible so you can have that one slot better, you're happy because they lost.
Right.
And I think that's part of the reason people, it wasn't a 30-point loss where everybody was dejected. It was a game where they went out there and fought the best player on the planet and the best team until proven otherwise in the entire league. And they did it with guys like Donte DiVincenzo, who you believe is going to be back here next year.
Right.
They did it with guys like Davion Mitchell and Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox, all of which you believe are going to be back here next year.
Right. And this is a key point to point out to those that, you know, are don't believe what I believe. Right. And that's fine. The Kings have earned the right. This franchise has earned the right for somebody to not have faith in them getting it correct. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't subscribe to the same theory, but I completely understand. But there's something in there that shouldn't be lost on people. They're 4-10, I think, from this trade. I think that's the correct since the trade. Since it's not great, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the way they play, the way they've played in, I'd say, 11 of those 14 games, they bring in more. They'll be able to maybe turn those losses, those close losses, into wins. That's why I keep saying, don't forget, nobody's saying this particular team is what's going to be what changes everything. This group, combined with more additions that you hopefully get in the off season, and hopefully they're the right ones, obviously, but the combination of those two things, that's what's going to turn this franchise around, or has the potential to turn this franchise around. Don't look at this team right now as a finished product and say, oh, okay, so you think this team is going to win 40 games? No, I don't think that. But I don't think this team is going to be what comes back. Elements of it, sure. The majority of it, sure. But I think there will be other pieces that get added to this puzzle that's going to help this team improve even more.
You're listening to D-Lo and Casey on ESPN 1320 KIFM West Sacramento, KRXQ HD2 Sacramento and Odyssey Station, and driven by Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge. She's Kenny Caraway. I'm Damian Barling. We appreciate you for being with us on Twitch, YouTube, on Facebook Live. We appreciate you for being with us on the Odyssey app. And if you're listening on 1320 AM, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Olivia Christian is going to join us coming up at the top of the 3 o'clock hour. I know there's plenty she's anxious to talk about. There's plenty we're anxious to talk to her about. And I got to admit, he hasn't gotten much attention from us. Chimezie Metu quietly had a really good game, and I'm looking at the box score trying to figure out why I can't really remember what Chimezie Metu did last night. And I realized the fourth quarter is so ingrained in my head after watching it, obviously, last night, and then watching a big chunk of it back earlier this morning. Metu wasn't a part of that, but Metu played his time well. We'll talk about the uniqueness of Alvin Gentry's rotations last night. But first, let's hear from Davion Mitchell as he talks about Donte DiVincenzo.
He kind of just reminds me of myself. He's just the culture he came from, even in college, the Villanova, a winning culture. He makes all the winning plays, the little plays. I mean, you can see on the floor. Then he's a really good teammate. He tells you to shoot the ball. He's looking for other teammates. He's never looking for himself. I mean, so that makes the game easy when you play guys like that.
Davion Mitchell talking about Donte DiVincenzo. How about Donte DiVincenzo talking about Davion Mitchell?
Davion's a special player. He's a special person too. So with that, as soon as I got here, I could just feel his love for the game, his love for defense. And it reminded me so much of the energy that Drew Holiday played with in Milwaukee. And with that, I got to read off of how Drew was playing over there, and I go off of Drew. So now coming here, honestly, reading off of Davion, I don't care if he's a rookie. The kid can play, and the dude is ready for big moments. And you'll see me, like, we talk a lot on the court, and that's just that relationship that is building. That trust is building on the defensive end, and offensively. Just I tell him, keep it simple. Nobody can guard you. And when he, when he does that, I mean, he has games like he has tonight. And that's what we expect of him every night. And I think going forward, he keeps doing that, building off of that. He can be a really special person and a player.
19 points from Davion Mitchell last night on 8 of 13 from the field. 19 points from Donte DiVincenzo last night on 7 of 14 from the field. High praise there, though, from Donte DiVincenzo about Davion Mitchell.
Yeah, I like the way they played last night. Obviously, the issue is the consistency. If I could rely, maybe not on 19 tonight, I'm not saying that, but if I could rely on 13 from Davion specifically, that would be something that would ease any type of concerns I have about him moving forward. You know what I mean? Maybe this is the beginning of it. We keep hoping for that.
Yeah.
You know, he'll have a good game, and we're like, well, maybe now this is the game he needs to get over that rookie wall or whatever else is going on to be more consistent.
30 minutes last night. I mean, I feel like, and I certainly haven't studied this. I feel like there's got to be a correlation between his most consistent play and his most consistent minutes. Again, I don't know that for sure, but I am thinking back to Monday's game versus Chicago. He Justin Holiday out in that game, Donte DiVincenzo in the starting lineup. Davion had a clear role, I think a shade under 30 minutes in that game. Had 30 minutes last night, including the entire fourth quarter. Maybe my thinking is too simplistic. Maybe I'm too basic. But I got to believe there's a correlation between those two things.
No, not at all. I mean, it makes sense. Hell, you said it. Matt Barnes has said it. When you have the confidence to know that whatever I do right here, I'm not coming out. You know,
I can make
start
a
off the game 0-4, 0 for 4, excuse me. I can still get another 4 or 5 shot attempts up and still be able to find my groove. That makes everything a lot easier. That makes things a lot less stressful. So, no, I don't think you're off at all. Whatever it is, I hope they find a way to unlock Davion, though, because his production off the bench is something that's extremely vital to what this team wants to do now and especially moving forward.
Here's more from Donte DiVincenzo last night on Donte talking about if he feels like he's settling in.
Yeah, I go back to just trying to get better every day. Going to practice tomorrow. At the end of the day, we played well, but we still lost. So it still hurts. And coming in tomorrow, let's watch some film. Let's try to get better. And we have another good team coming in on Friday. So for me, it's not about my personal stuff. For me, it's about trying to win games and trying to create good habits. So, like I said, it still stings taking the loss, but if we can get better, that's what I'm trying to focus on.
I like that. I like that line of thinking. Get better. That doesn't sound like a dude also, and playing detective here. It doesn't sound like a dude who thinks he's going to be here for 11 more games.
No, I think he
just an opinion there, but
yeah, I think he knows he'll be back. He's trying to make sure his role when he comes back is that of a starter. He wants to start, and I understand that. And I know it was weird last night not seeing him start out there, but like you mentioned earlier, Alvin Gentry did play him down the stretch heavy. And it didn't take him out. It didn't go back to Justin Holiday. So I like Donte's game. I do think he's getting more and more comfortable. I feel like I see it in his shot. I see it in his decision making. I see it in his aggressiveness. It's not that he wasn't aggressive before, but now he's just it seems like he's a little more sure of himself when he's out there trying to play passing lanes and what he wants to do as far as help defense. And it makes sense. You've had practices, you've had time with these guys. You're not just going out there playing basketball. You understand the strategy and the concept of what this particular group is trying to do, and you're getting more and more comfortable with it.
Alvin did say post-game he can see a starting lineup with Donte DiVincenzo and De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we did Monday. And I think a lot of us all thought we were going to see it on Wednesday. Alvin had other plans for a while. And then I think Donte was playing so well, he ran with that. And I was, we asked players to make adjustments during games. I feel like Alvin made an adjustment during a game. He started Justin Holiday, but didn't necessarily play him what you might consider starter minutes or in a starter rotation. Obviously, a lot of that has to do with the fact that Donte and Davion played the entire fourth quarter, as did De'Aaron Fox and your boy Trey Lyles. We haven't given Trey Lyles enough love.
Trey Lyles.
It was a tough matchup for him.
Last night? Yeah, 12 and 12, 12 points, 12 rebounds.
Oh, I was like, wait a minute. No, he was 5 of 10. Like, wait, he was good. He wasn't that good. Yeah, he had 12 and 12.
Yeah.
Right. But that's a tough matchup for him. Like that's a squad and we all saw how physical that game was.
Yeah, come on, man. I mean, I saw a few people on there, and I'm not taking shots. They're just like, if they could just get a power forward, a defensive minded power forward. Oh, this isn't the game to grade somebody. And I don't think Trey Lyles is like this defensive stopper, but nobody's doing anything with that man 34. Like he's too much. So the positive is I felt like Trey Lyles battled. I felt like he wasn't obviously it wasn't a zero on the offensive end. He was getting out there, being aggressive on the offensive end, giving a little bit of that back. I like Trey Lyles, man. Like I said, I don't know if he's a starting caliber 4, to be honest with you. I would lean towards he's not, but he looks more and more comfortable every single game in that spot and next to Sabonis. And I feel like with the way that he's able to shoot the basketball, it's kind of it seems like a really good fit for this lineup with Fox and Sabonis trying to take care of things inside, being able to kick it out to a guy like Trey Lyles. Trey Lyles is only 26 years old. Maybe he's growing into being, a better ball player.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't have a problem with Trey Lyles being a part of this team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I just don't think this is the role. I don't think a starting 4 for a team with the expectations that this team should have headed into next year. Mm-hmm. Again, a role, and that's important. Role players on good teams are important.
Right.
We want this team to be good. You need role players. It doesn't mean you have to move on from Trey Lyles. It doesn't mean you have to move on from Justin Holiday. It means you have to repurpose these guys and settle them into the role. Those aren't roles that you can settle them into over the course of the next 11 games.
Mm-hmm.
Those are roles that you can't settle them into until next year when you have hopefully an established starting lineup and you use training camp and preseason to establish rotations and roles for these guys that can carry over into the regular season.
Yeah.
Alvin Gentry talked about being able to carry the momentum from yesterday's game over into tomorrow's versus Boston.
I think more so than anything, it's just the chemistry and the camaraderie and the way they pull for each other. If you saw our bench tonight, there was guys that are usually in there this time that wasn't in there. They were cheering as hard for the guys that was in there as anyone was. So, I think when you see those kind of things, it's just a prelude, I think, to things that can happen and things that can come. Like I said, I was just really proud of them. I thought we did everything we could. I thought we, took the ball to the basket. No, I'm not going to go there. I thought we did a good job. I thought we did a really good job, of competing.
Everybody in the room knew what he meant.
Just playing hard and playing for each other.
Everybody in the room knew what he meant. He just decided, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and keep my money for me and my family here, and not say anything about the officials and us attacking the basket the way that we did.
And look, I'll clarify something as well. At least how I feel. Kings didn't lose that game because of the officials. They were bad.
No,
they didn't give the Kings the benefit of the doubt a lot of the times. But
it didn't help.
No, they absolutely didn't help. It's not why they lost the game, though. The Bucks are a damn good team. The Kings didn't execute the way they needed to down the stretch, and they couldn't really get too many stops in that second half the way they needed to like they did against Chicago. Part of that is because of Milwaukee being such a good team. So sometimes you just lose to the better team. You know what I mean? You lose to the better team. Milwaukee was better last night and made a play or two more than the Sacramento Kings, and that's what the game came down to.
In much respect to Giannis Antetokounmpo for showing up in a Giannis 316 shirt, and for reasons known only to him, he thought it would be a good idea to attempt to drink a Coors Light. He took one sip of it and was like, "Yep, that ain't it. I'm moving on." Nice WWE hat that he had on as well. We'll step out. We'll come forward. Come back. We've looked back at the game last night versus Milwaukee. Let's look ahead to the game on Friday versus Boston, while dabbling into what happened in San Francisco last night. There's some people in their feelings about it. So we'll talk about that. Celtics and Kings tomorrow. We'll get you ready for that as D'Lo and Casey continue on Sacramento's #1 sports station, ESPN 1320. Oh, man. That's a good one. I'll get out your way.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't even have a show, but you can do what you got to do. I got to get this iPad real quick. I take it Richmond's about to pull off the upset. Another 12-5. Another 12-5 upset. See, this is the way you think about those things, though, Jesse. You really didn't lose anything because I think a lot of people had Iowa moving on. Oh, well, yeah, you lost a lot. Yeah, that's a tough one. Where's my thing? Where's smoking out the window? Laker fans they're different. They're different than Warrior fans. Warrior fans are just, they can be the worst sometimes. Then they're talked about all the time. And they're like, nobody shows us respect. Nobody shows us any respect. Let me see this play again. But I was wrong. What? Sign into what? Oh, yeah, okay. I'm about to say. I almost picked Richmond because I liked how they finished that Atlantic 10 tournament, but I didn't do it. Oh, that's 5 seconds. Oh, he got fouled. Oh, they didn't call it. Oh. You still got time to look for a trap and a steal. You got time to look for a trap and a steal. I know you're looking at. Yeah.
We cannot. I caught the tail end of that. Like, no, we can't go do it.
That's crazy.
Oh, we do? Huh. Well,
will we go live right to? Oh. That's crazy.
I don't know, man. Someone called Danny in San Francisco.
That's crazy.
Oh, there's stuff happening here.
That's crazy. I mean, I don't know.
All right, we'll just
we are here.
We'll keep you updated.
Yeah.
There's stuff going on, and it's all about to go to hell for some of you. Me, it's all going to hell for me here very shortly. So when it becomes final, we will pass it along to you. But there's some interesting scores right now in the NCAA tournament. Yeah, there's some interesting scores out there. For sure. Olivia Christian's going to join us at the top of the 3 o'clock hour.
I got my years completely mixed up earlier. I got it now, but
okay.
I always thought this year they were coming back to Sacramento this year. They're coming back next year. Because I always said the West Coast double play should always be G1C for the first 2 rounds, then go to the Chase Center. And yeah, I thought that was what was going on this year. Nope. Just Chase Center, but they'll be here next year.
Okay. What round is here next year? Did you go when they were here a couple?
Yeah.
18, 17, whatever that was.
Yeah, that was a movie. That was a Sacramento movie. I talk about this all the time. Oh yeah. Well, just once again, growing up out here in this city, being born and raised out here, and having, nights in Sacramento. Nights like this, where you'd be at the Hun King Lounge or you'd be at Ricky's, and literally the only thing.
Oh no, I wasn't outside, so
I mean that's why I'm educating you right now. I'm putting you on.
Appreciate
right
it. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Putting you on, and seeing how desolate downtown would be, before anything was going on down here.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that the first round was a Friday, Sunday, and coming out on that Friday and coming out of the Golden One Center, going down K Street. It was also St. Patrick's Day. Man, it was a movie downtown.
The Lowdown was broadcasting live out there during the day at the old, I think it was called Malton Mash.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. It was a movie.
Yeah, it was kind of a movie.
I'll tell you, it was
kind of a movie
in Sacramento.
It was kind of a movie.
And I was like, wow. I say all the time that Vivek was probably sitting up in his $4.3 million penthouse at the Sawyer.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, this is what we envisioned.
This was
this
it. Yeah,
this is what it should be.
That area, that arena area, that it just flooded with people.
Mm-hmm.
Just movie status.
Yeah.
Movie status for sure.
It was lit.
That was good stuff. That was good stuff.
They better give us Friday, Saturday, Sunday again too. Don't give us no Thursday. Yeah, I'm still get a lit on a Thursday, but give us Friday.
Dealing with KC, broadcasting live from Delco. Let's go. What business wants to sign up? Call my man Rich. Call my man Regan.
Let's go. Get locked in right now. Be on the early train right now. Because it's going to be a movie wherever we at, there's going to be a movie next year.
Yeah, we need to get out there, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. We need to be out there. We need to be with our crew.
Unofficially, April 24th.
Yep, unofficially. Talk about that later. But yeah, Ricky Rose gonna be here. Ricky Rose gonna be here. You know we're gonna represent for our man Rick Ross for sure. And I'm just stalling, begging for this game to end, but it absolutely won't. But we'll update you on everything that's going on in the NCAA tournament as we move along here.
You've done this before. This is my first foray into being on the radio during the tournament. How is that? Do you find it distracting? Do you find it fun? Like,
no, it is. I mean, it's fun. I think a lot of people are paying attention to it. A lot of people are relying us to just relay the information. Like, it's certainly distracting when it's a 2-point game with 4 seconds left. Yeah, absolutely. Very distracting in a 12 versus 5 matchup. Definitely. But it's fun, man. Like, I think that's I think we kind of just broke that barrier with this show a long time ago, in that, like, we're not trying to be this, like, well-oiled machine where it's 2:23 past the hour here with D'Lo and KC. 60 degrees outside, partly cloudy for most of the day. Sacramento Kings win last night, or Sacramento Kings lose last night, or the San Francisco. That's not what we're here for, man. We're just sports fans talking, trying to have fun, and I think it's it's just more genuine when you recognize. No, we know the tournament's on.
Yeah.
We're keeping an eye on it. We're keeping an eye on it because, one, we're sports fans just like you are. Two, it's our job to pass it along to you. We got to pass this information along. And apparently, Richmond and Iowa are in the longest timeout in the history of collegiate basketball. I don't know. Is the roof leaking? Is Luke and Bill up there with a tarp? Like, what is going on right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great time of year. It started at 9 a.m. right, and I knew Michigan was playing today. I didn't even know my boys was playing first today.
Yeah,
we were on the show call. I was like, wait a minute.
Kenny had a panic attack. Like, hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We've got
They came back and got that win against Colorado State. Ooh, it was looking bleak.
I mean, Michigan, and that's the thing about college, man. That's the thing about Juwan Howard. Like, it takes time. It's going to take time. I think they're ultimately going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
This a crazy year for Juwan, but he'll get that thing on track. I don't know how much further they're going to go here in the tournament. Didn't expect North Carolina to be up 21 today, but yet here they are. There's a lot of things I didn't expect here in the first day of the tournament, and we'll have it for you here in 2 seconds, which the way this game is going, that means 17 minutes.
So off topic. He says, tournament on the TV, D'Lo and KC on the internet. It's Christmas.
Let's go. I think we can. I think it's fair. Like, I think we can do it.
Too.
Like, I think we could do
Go
it.
Ahead, run it.
Number 5, Iowa goes down to the Richmond Spiders. There's 2 seconds left in the game, but it's 67-63. Number 5, Iowa. Crumple up your bracket. It's over for you. Throw it away.
Jesse.
If you
jumped out the window with this one. Jesse, what'd you do?
Wait a minute. How far did you have Iowa going? Oh, man. Oh, man.
I don't mean to laugh, but
so I just want to be clear, Jesse. You took advice from Twitter. Okay, I just want to make sure we recognize what's actually at play here is you took advice from Twitter.
Oh man, that's rough. It's
a tough one.
Here saying I blame King's Twitter for all the Keegan Murray hype.
I mean, what's funny about that? Keegan Murray, by the way, 21 points, 9 rebounds today.
Pretty good.
What's funny about that is, wasn't DeAndre Ayton eliminated in like
he lost the first round.
He lost in the first round. He lost the first day. Worked out okay for him. Worked out okay for him in terms of the draft.
Ben Simmons didn't make the tournament.
Neither did Markelle Fultz.
Well,
shout out Markelle Fultz. I think he came back.
Yeah, I saw that the other day. He was trying to guard Kyrie. I was like, Markelle's back.
Trying, and it is official. 67-63. The Richmond Spiders. That 12 versus 5 is always interesting every year.
I feel like, and this is unofficial, I feel like there's a 12 versus 5 upset every year. There's like a streak going on or something, right?
There may very well be. If you just want to sit quietly for about 10 minutes, I can read through this giant pamphlet of stuff I have from ESPN, and I'm confident that note's in there.
Richmond was one of the teams that what did they call them? Like a bid stealer or something like that. They only got in because they went on a little run in the Atlantic 10 tournament and got into the tournament that way. They were not going to be an at-large team. So to go from being the 6th seed in the A10 tournament to winning an NCAA tournament game, that's some good stuff, man. What a week for the Richmond Spiders.
Well, Big Al thought I was serious when I asked if he was going to call back. And
what?
He, in fact, did call back. So after not hearing from Big Al for weeks, he's called back twice in the same day. Big Al, what's happening?
The Lord bless you. The Lord bless you, my friend D'Lo. Hey, listen.
Okay.
You guys are so young.
Yep.
I told you this once before, so if you paid attention. I had, until the last few years, I got bored and tired, and knew my basketball-loving son wouldn't watch these. I had every NCAA Final Four, the semis and the final, on VCR, okay? First beta, then VHS. And I quit. So I still have a bunch of them, and I can go back and watch. But when it comes to this, Iowa dies or jokes. They have choked many a time in the tournament. And Richmond, surprisingly, has had a couple of big upsets. If you go back 40 years, Richmond's been in the tourney, and they've had some nice first-round wins. You can look it up. You'll see. So Iowa they just are so over. They get so overrated.
Didn't Richmond beat South Carolina one time? Wasn't that like a 15-2 matchup?
Yeah. It was a big. I'll assume that the correct teams are there, but they as a 15 they've won before. Yeah, they're a pretty decent team from time to time, and they play some legitimate ball. But there you go. You said North Carolina win. See, this is the thing that's sad. When all the blue bloods come down to it, it just makes me sad. I like to see a 6, 7, 8, or 9 get in.
I just want to be clear too, Al. You own a VCR?
Thank you, D'Lo. Yeah, the wife just said, doesn't everybody know? And I had to go back out. Mine broke. I went out, and son of a gun, I found it where they have it totally refurbished with 2-year warranties, and I can now dub that on from VCR to DVD. Because what am I going to do?
All right. Big Al got that VCR to DVD recorder. I don't have a VCR or a DVD or any sort of, like, to me, if it ain't available on the cloud, I ain't seeing it.
I had that. I had the VCR to DVD recorder back in 07.
I had it. Yes, I too had it. A long time ago, when I wasn't outside and Foxy Brown records were dropping, I had a VCR DVD recorder. Big Al has one now. Thankfully, he got the refurbished one with the 2-year warranty. All right. Well, if anyone else wants to call and tell us about their ancient gadgets, man, please do. 916-349-1320. We're continuing to follow everything that's going on in the NCAA tournament as we get ready for the Sacramento Kings. Feel like you want to jump in here with something. It's my bad.
No, I was just going to ask you, because we talk about, the upsets and all this other stuff. Where were you when, what was it, UMBC?
That's right. And I always try to remember what it stands for.
University of Baltimore, Maryland, something.
I don't think
Maryland, Baltimore County? Maybe. I don't know.
I don't think.
But it is Maryland, Baltimore. I know that for sure.
UMBC. I always try to remember what that stands for. Where was I? It is.
It's county.
I think I was just at home watching, like, oh, this is happening.
Were you tapped in like the whole game though? Because I wasn't.
No.
Like I came in
No.
maybe around halftime.
I think I was watching something else and saw the score at the top. Like saw the score at the top of the screen and was like, oh, we're doing this. Okay. Okay. We're going to do it then. Let's take a look at it. I think that's all it was.
And speaking of that moment, big ups to Virginia, and Kyle Guy and those guys for having that embarrassment, and being the first team to lose a 16-1 matchup and coming right back the next year and winning a national championship. That is the best of both worlds. We got to see an all-time moment, and we saw these kids persevere and rebound from that.
The Jay Wright bang game is still one of the greatest. Still, just
remember
one of the
my
most
man.
incredible
What's my man's name's shot before that? The point guard in North Carolina. The three he made to tie it was crazy. Oh man, little lefty.
I can remember the sequence. I don't even remember the player who hit the.
It was I think it was like the power forward, like Chris something.
I thought it was an NBA player, wasn't it?
I don't know if
we sound ridiculous now trying to recall. It wasn't even that long ago. We're acting like we're Big Al's. Back in my day, when we were watching this game on our VCRs, I can't remember.
I feel like it was like Chris Williams or something like that who hit the shot.
That was a moment, though. You talk about movies, man. That was an absolute movie.
One of my most favorite tournament games of all time. This is a real random one, but it really was one of my favorites. 1999 national championship game. Rip Hamilton and the UConn Huskies take down, I think it was Trajan Langdon, Elton Brand, I think was on that team, takes down that Duke team. That was one of my favorites. Khalid El-Amin, Ricky Moore guarding Trajan Langdon. That was some good stuff. You know what also I remember about that game? Nike gave Ricky Moore the flight posits, not the phone posits. Remember KG had the flight posits? Nike gave Ricky the gold ones to wear. Yeah.
Was it Butler? Was it Butler and UConn?
Which one? The half court shot? Butler
no, that was Duke. But was there a Butler UConn?
Yeah, I think Kimba
final?
beat him. Isn't that who Kimba beat?
Okay, maybe that. I just remember. I feel like that's when Trey and we told the story. Trey Wingo when we were out somewhere, and we're watching that game, and I remember Trey was like, "I guarantee you, the call is going to be something about a dog," and we're like, "Is he going to say?" They're the top dog of the NCAA. Is he going to say they're the big dog? And sure enough, if I remember correctly, the call was UConn is the top dog in the NCAA tournament or in the NCAA. It was something like that, but we were just, how is he going to work dog here into the final call? And nothing beats, was it Jim Nance? Somebody came back from the dead on Easter.
Oh my gosh.
I can't remember who it was. Oh, no. I just remember he said, back from the dead on Easter Sunday. Like, oh,
no.
Oh, man. I can't remember who it was, though.
I remember that call, too. I don't remember who he was talking about.
What the game was, but yeah, that was.
The Villanova player was Chris Jenkins. Thanks, everybody. Okay. And the North Carolina player was the great Marcus Page. Thanks for you guys, too. Marcus Page, that was a good little ball player. Wow. Yeah, good times, good times.
So now I'm completely not focused because I want to hear the back from the dead call. That was just such a hell of a line. Back from the dead on Easter.
We were talking about this yesterday because the Monday Night Football crew got announced. They also had to wait for the league year.
That was so weird. That was so random. Like, this has been out there for a week, but man, I guess they had to wait too. I guess league rules.
But we talked about is is Joe Buck, is he the top dog? Is he have the most? And we were going through it, and we came up with, oh, does he make more than Nance?
I can't
And
imagine he does.
I don't know if we found an actual number, but yeah, Jim Nance should be the highest paid. He's got a hell of a trifecta. He's got the NFL, sometimes the Super Bowl because of that. He's got the Masters. And then on the eve of the tournament, we forgot, oh yeah, he does the NCAA tournament too.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
it doesn't get much bigger than that, having those three.
Okay.
The only thing left is the finals, I guess.
It wasn't Nance. It was Harlan. It was Kevin Harlan.
Jim Boeheim and Syracuse have done it back from the dead on Easter Sunday. They're going to the Final Four.
Come on, Yo,
Kevin Harlan.
Come on,
man, with no regard for human life. Oh, what a call right there.
Come on,
Woo.
Kevin.
Man. Boy, that's job security right there. When you're comfortable with that one. Holy smokes.
I would have touched that one with a 10-foot pole.
That's no lie, man. That is no lie. The Sacramento Kings, boy, we really got sidetracked here. The Sacramento Kings will take on the Boston Celtics on Friday, tomorrow, the Golden One Center. Celtics in San Francisco last night is, I'm sure everybody's well aware of now. Steph Curry out indefinitely with a sprained ligament in his left foot that came after Marcus Smart dove for a loose ball. Now, a lot has been discussed, of course, by Draymond Green, because I guess he's the authority on plays like this. And he was asked after the game if the play was dirty, and he gave a 45-minute answer using the word dirty 47 times while saying that the play wasn't in fact dirty. He just kept saying it over and over and over again. And I don't know if he was trying to convince himself, the reporter. I don't know what he was doing, but he just kept saying over and over and over again. And I watched the play. I saw the highlight of it. I saw the slow motion highlight of it. It's like, all right, let me try to look at this in like a context of the game. I didn't think the play was dirty. I think the way Draymond phrased it, again, the authority in all of this, Draymond said it wasn't dirty. Maybe it was unnecessary, but it wasn't dirty. And then again, you look at the play in the context of the game. There's nothing even unnecessary about it.
Exactly.
He's going for the ball.
Exactly. It's a loose ball. He's going for it. He didn't overly dive into Steph's legs. Like, it was one of those things like that's where he was. Mm-hmm. It was nothing overt about him diving for that ball and Steph's legs being there. He didn't do anything unnecessary, like you just mentioned. I don't know why Kerr and Warriors guys and everybody are so up in arms about this play. Like, obviously, Steph got hurt, so I understand that aspect, but coming at Marcus Smart about it, that just kind of sounds crazy.
Yeah, and there was another play involving Marcus Smart that was a little bit more
No, that was crazy.
Yeah, I'm not even sure the word I'm looking for. I guess crazy is the word. It was a little bit crazier than the dive on the floor for the ball. He hits Klay Thompson. Again, they went to Draymond Green for this. Draymond Green, again, the authority on things like this. I think he also said that play wasn't dirty. Of course, that's what he has to say because he is very well known for kicking people in a variety of different areas on a basketball floor. But man, I expected a nice little matchup between the Golden State Warriors and the Boston Celtics last night, and instead, man, just tons of news and notes coming out of that game. Most of all, the fact that Steph Curry, it's not necessarily a belief as much as it is a hope that he'll be back in time for the playoffs. But he's out indefinitely, and this isn't really a small deal.
Yeah, it's not good, man. And you gotta be cautious and a little concerned if you're the Golden State Warriors, because while on one hand you're happy that there's no fracture or anything like that, because you'd be out, the sprain of the ligament, you really don't know. That's why the indefinitely is there, because you don't know how it's going to heal. You don't know how he's going to react, and how long he's going to get the strength back. Plus, rust, all this other stuff. I absolutely hope that it's something that's, week 2, maybe 3, and he's ready to go for the playoffs, hopefully a little bit before the playoffs. But it's got to be concerning. You know what I mean? It's got to be concerning, especially the indefinitely part of it all, because that could be a good thing. That could be a bad thing.
I had another observation coming out of that game as well that I think you'll like. It's a Warriors observation, but I think you'll be interested in that. I'll pass that along to you. We'll also talk about the Celtics and their matchup against the Sacramento Kings. We'll got a couple notes here on the women's tournament, man, and this Brittney Griner situation is it just seems to be going from really, really bad to even worse. Plus, Olivia Christian joins us at the top of the hour, man. So we got plenty ahead here on Sacramento's #1 sports station, ESPN 1320.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Oaktown 357. They're pioneers right there. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm trying to see if there's any. I watched right before Raw started. I saw Britt Baker right before Raw started. Right before the Kings started, I watched the cage match with Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. And I don't know if I think I'm just getting older, and this type of stuff doesn't appeal to me anymore. I just thought the match I thought it was violent just for the sake of violence. Like I didn't realize they had built up like a blood feud or anything like that. Like that was tough. I didn't really enjoy that. I didn't think it was very. It wasn't a bad match. It just wasn't. It's like, yo, she just took a nasty bump on like this pile of chairs, like and that's where AEW sometimes loses me, like a little bit. Like, use violence to tell a story. Don't let violence be the story. And I felt like in that particular match, while those women busted their ass and there was nothing necessarily wrong with the match, I just thought like violence was the showcase instead of the story. The story, if you incorporate violence, it's fine. You were trying to force violence into this story, and it wasn't necessary. Like thumbtacks and all of that. That stuff isn't necessary to me. Still no Cody. Still no Cody. Yeah, Bryce, you hate AEW, but you're right. Yeah, that's true. They played the story on too long, but I think they were trying to get to this match in San Antonio. I think that's the reason they held off on Revolution. This is a good question, Sean. This is a good question. I think Jesse's out. Jesse's definitely out. He don't want no part of it. He is not happy. He is not happy. I understand. I can't lie, y'all. I'm still kind of laughing at Back from the Dead on Easter Sunday. That is something. Yeah. Back from the Dead. And he was so silent on the free throw before. I felt like he was like thinking about it, like he was planning it. It's like, oh, I got one for him. I've got one for him. Let's see. George Kittle just tweeted an interesting GIF. Wonder what that means. What does George Kittle's GIF mean? King's Twitter is down on Keegan. Well, yeah, because Keegan ruined all their brackets, so they're mad at him. That's how it works. King's Twitter gets mad at everybody except Tyrese Halliburton. I am fascinated. Okay. I thought we were coming back. We're not coming back. We're coming back soon. 5 seconds. Okay. Dealing with KC, indeed, brought to you by McQueen and the Violet Fog, the smoothest gin in the world, handcrafted in Brazil. We appreciate you so much for being with us. Olivia Christian, 1320 host and contributor, going to join us live at the top of the hour. Plenty, I'm sure she's excited to talk about. I'm trying to figure out what this George Kittle tweet means. He's tweeting, "It's fine," the little cartoon GIF with all of the fire around it, but perhaps this has to do with
went to Iowa.
And oh, he followed that up with, "This is Iowa basketball related." Well, that's no fun. Come on, man.
No, that's perfectly fine, because if he was stressed out, oh boy, that'd be bad.
What if he was stressed out because Trey Lance was being traded to Houston, and in fact Jordan Schultz is standing on top of Redemption Mountain and Deshaun Watson is headed to San Francisco? Then would you be okay if he was tweeting the GIF, "It's fine"? Yes, you would. Knock it off. You would.
Watson. Come on now.
Yeah,
I mean,
you would.
You know I like Trey. That's my boy.
By the way, you want to?
Come on now, Deshaun Watson.
You want to fire up them air horns real quick?
Oh, absolutely.
Did we throw a proper happy birthday shout out to Donnie Dope Ones?
We absolutely did not. Let me get him another one. Happy birthday, Donnie Dope Ones.
He doesn't like that name either.
You don't?
He doesn't like the name Donnie Dope Ones. I don't know why. It incorporates all his names. Donnie and the Dope Ones. I told him it was his mob name. So happy birthday to our man Donnie, the Dope One, who helped us put together the D'Lo and KC shop. He's responsible for many of the he did the Martin logo. He did the original Big Head logo. He did the Chatty House Party. He did he's got that Dion joint that Casey's rocking. So Donnie, we know you're not normally not in here this late in the show, man, but we appreciate you, and happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to my cousin Anthony as well. He used to be at Cal State with me at Cal Skate. He'd be outside.
Yeah, man, I wasn't there. I just missed out. I just missed on the Foxy Brown was a pioneer era, man. That's me. I missed out on a hell of an era. Hell of an era. I missed it.
You weren't outside.
I guess not. I got to do better.
Saturday nights, boy. King Skate. I ain't Cal Skate. Boy, oh boy.
Do you get into the women's tournament as much?
I do. I got to be honest with you. I'm not really into it until they get to the Sweet 16. Typically,
doesn't have them same early.
Yeah. It feels like generally you can. I'm not saying we should, because I like basketball. Let's watch basketball, but you don't have to be as locked into that first 2 rounds, because you're going to get the good teams going on moving forward. And once you get to the Sweet 16, though, that's when they start balling. So I'm definitely locked in.
Yeah, this is an era. Big Al was talking about the Blue Bloods earlier. Well, the Blue Bloods and the women's college basketball still very much exist. Stanford still very much there.
Yeah. Is it wide open to you, or is it Don Staley in South Carolina?
It's not wide open, in my opinion. I don't think it's as cut and dry as Dawn. Like, I'm going to give Stanford their their
What's the
due.
young lady's name? Boston. She's a problem down there. I forgot the power forward, the center. Forgot her first name, but Boston. She's a problem down there in South. I thought she was a senior last year until I saw her come back this year. I was like, oh, she's back.
Something I didn't expect either. Tennessee has fought their way back into being a respectable, a more than respectable university, a more than respectable women's basketball program. I don't know that they're championship contenders. I'm a little sour on this year's NCAA tournament. I'll be a lot more into it next year. UConn at the number 2 spot. We'll see. What they wind up doing there in NC State's region. But there's watch for Stanford. Like that's who I'm looking for. Watch for Stanford. Watch for Dawn in South Carolina. Watch for a potential Arizona South Carolina matchup in the Sweet 16.
I love Arizona.
Watch,
I love the program they're building out there.
Watch for that one. Former Sacramento Monarch Adia Barnes.
Yeah.
And Iowa on the women's side is still very much alive.
And they've got much CTV. Must see TV. What's the young lady's name? Forgive me for not knowing her name, but
Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, she is must see TV. And look, I've been a huge UConn women's basketball fan for a long time. I'm always looking for somebody to knock them off. But I expressed this to you a while back. I think it was before she got hurt or was whatever. That girl Paige. Oh man. I love watching her play. So I know she's back. I know they're probably bringing her along slow, whatever the case may be.
Oh, I think she's back.
She's all the way back.
Yeah, she's back.
You want to talk about must see TV? I love watching her hoop. She is so nice. So
UConn's going to go for a while. There's no reason that they shouldn't. And they're in they have a pretty favorable. They have a pretty favorable setup. I mean, they're UConn. They're a tremendous team. They have a pretty favorable setup to get quite a, to move along here in this tournament.
Yeah.
So
we got Trey in here talking about Caitlin greater than Paige. Look, I'm not going to get into all that because Caitlin is bad. She is bad. Don't get it twisted. Yeah. But I told Davion this, and I said, look, man, I'm not even going to lie to you. When I see Paige, I almost feel like I'm watching Kyrie. That's all I remember. I told you that. I was like, I feel like I'm watching Kyrie out there. She's so nice.
Nah, she is, and that'll be a fascinating program to watch next year when she is presumably healthy for the entire season, and see where that winds up. Taking them. The biggest story in women's basketball, not necessarily college basketball, continues to be Brittney Griner and the fact that fam. What are you doing? Yeah, you forget to hit the mute button.
I didn't know. I didn't even know it was that loud.
You never think what you're doing is loud. That is a high-end microphone. It's so funny, like when you try to fold up chips, like no one's gonna hear it. Boy, that clicking and clacking that you heard, that was Kenny's teeth. That was Kenny Invisalign. This hour of D-Lo and KC is brought to you by Invisalign.
I don't know why they have Steph, but we come on now. They definitely I'm not only a client, I'm the Invisalign president. Come on now.
Very well may be. Had to get the graphics changed for Kenny's new smile and the whole deal. The biggest story in really, it should be the biggest story in sports, period, continues to be Brittney Griner. And there was a report this morning that I don't know how to phrase this, her arrest, her detention has been extended to May 19th. So, like, she is just sitting, I guess, in a jail in Russia. And there's nothing anyone can do about it.
So with that being said, was she supposed to get out?
See, that's the thing I didn't understand either.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I didn't figure
out.
That's
the thing I didn't understand either, was the extension of it. because I didn't know, like, wait, was she supposed to be released? Because I certainly hadn't seen anything about her being released. There are notes in the extended stories that delays like this are standard in Russia, but no one is looking at this as a standard case. They're looking at this as something much, much different.
Yeah.
And it is frightening. And we wish the best for Brittney, her family, I know her team is the best in the game, the absolute best in the game. But this is different.
Yeah.
I mean, they got connections, they got those connections, at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, but this is a whole different animal at a whole different time, man. So I just pray that young lady's okay.
Yeah, man. Free Brittney Griner, get her home, man, and just crossing my fingers, prayers up that gets taken care of.
No easy way to transition, man, but we'll do our best here. You're listening to D-Lo and KC on ESPN 1320 KIFM West Sacramento, KRXQ HD2 Sacramento, and Odyssey Station, and driven by Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge. We're getting word from the ESPN 1320 studio that today, or at least this month, is in fact the 15-year anniversary of ESPN 1320. It started in March of 2007.
Wow. Okay.
I wonder how many people knew that.
I thought it started a year ago.
Certainly started. It was back from the dead on Easter Sunday a year ago, as Kevin Harlan would say. But ESPN was originally just Bristol, Connecticut. That's all it was.
Nah,
and
I'm joking. I knew they were around. People had shows before us too, man. And I didn't know it'd been that long though.
We're only the second local show that ESPN 1320's had.
Wow.
It was they were and I don't know for how many years. If I did the math backwards in my head, I could do it really quick, but I can't do math quick, so that's out. But it was just the Bristol, Connecticut stuff. And then the Rise guys came in, and I think the Rise guys ran for 5 years, and then they shut everything down again for a year, 2 years, a year. And then D-Lo and KC.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Happy birthday to ESPN 1320.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's a happy birthday to us situation. We certainly show love to ESPN 1320, the station, but man, you guys have helped us build something tremendous here. And the most important thing is, man, we're not done building. There's so much more ahead. Yeah. And we know that you want more local content. You want more people on this radio station covering the things that you're interested in. And we continue to work on that. And one of the people who helps us with it, live from Northern California?
No, I can tell.
Still Southern California.
Yeah, I can told you that's not Northern California. No.
This is the longest move in history.
Yeah, and it's going to extend even longer. It's kind of a nightmare, but I'm just going with it. I'm going with it.
Yeah, I need like a video tour of your. I know you described it to us one day. I actually think it was after the show you described it to us. But every time you take a picture in one of your wild foofy dresses with the book, and you're in this like gigantic window, and like it looks like something Tommy Egan would have. Like it looks like something out of New York.
It looks like the Sawyer penthouse.
That's right. But yeah, I need a video tour of your spot there.
I will give it to you, but it will not be for public dissemination.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine, because if you're actually moving, your place should look like hell right now. I just don't think any of us believe that you're moving anymore. You've been lying to us.
I'll show you some hell. I've got hell. I've got hell down here. I've got hell up there. Life has been a little hellish, but it's for a good reason. Good things are happening. It's, the move is always kind of chaotic. Plus, I've got some doctors here, specialists that are working with me. So there's a lot of back and forth. I'm trying to get whole and healthy. and ready to rumble. So I'm just trying to be patient. Like I said, go with the flow. And in due time, I will be permanently in Northern California.
All right.
Can we? I don't think we've ever done this before. Can we plug your book real quick? Because you're doing something. You're doing something really dope with your book right now.
Yes, thank you. That's very kind of you. So we've talked about the branding stuff that I do in general, like some of the corporate teams and stuff that I work with. But I worked with Vistaprint. You guys have heard of Vistaprint, right? Like you get your business cards there. I worked with them for a number of months. I actually wrote an advice column for them for small businesses, entrepreneurs, and then we turned it into a book. It's called Ask Olivia, and I answer questions that I've been generally asked as I've built my entrepreneurial journey. And this month, because it's Women's History Month, I am giving away a book to nonprofits that are serving women and girls. For every copy that is purchased, a copy is donated. I'm working with groups like Dress for Success. You all likely have heard of them. It's a place where women who are in need of clothing so they can go to interviews feeling confident. I'm equipping them with this book, and I'm doing workshops for those women as well. They're all over the world. But I'm looking for people to support this because I am an entrepreneur, which means I'm not independently wealthy. I work for myself. It is a grind. I'm like, if I could give all the books away, I would. But I think at this point, the most I can do in terms of giving them out is if somebody purchases one, then I can give them away. So if you go to my website, oliviachristian.co, you can find a link to the audiobook or the hard copy. And it'd be wonderful if you supported this little strategy, this campaign that I've got going.
That's dope. That's really dope. Did you always envision yourself being an author, writing a book? Like, was this something that you were like, I'm gonna do that one day?
No, I mean, honestly, even this stuff that I'm doing with a lot of the corporations, I didn't plan it this way. My early career was very different. I didn't plan a career in sports either. I don't have a broadcasting degree. But at a certain point, I decided to just do the things that I love, try to figure out how to make it work. And it's been up and down. It's been, feast and famine. But in addition to talking about being like going with the flow with the moving, it's the same thing with being an entrepreneur. Like as opportunities unfold and open up, I kind of just like walk through the door. I had no intention of working with Vistaprint for like a year and a half. We were going to do this 3-month thing, and I just kept going. And they kept saying, do you want to do more? How about an advice column? How about a book? And I'm just like, yes. So it's been amazing. It's been cool.
And that's why we went to Olivia. Olivia, how about a radio show? Yes. Olivia doesn't say no to anything. You just say, hey, Olivia, yes, of course. I'll do a book. I'll do a TV show. I'll do a radio show. Let's do it all.
I'm down.
Let's do everything. Do you get into the NCAA? We'll get to the Kings. We got Give and Go with Maybach, all of that good stuff on the way. Do you get into to either tournament? Do you get into the men's and women's college basketball tournament?
Yes. And I have to say, don't really get into the NCAA basketball at all until around March Madness. I mean, that's
most people. Most people lie about being. They're all lying except Kenny. Kenny's very much telling the truth. But most people get excited and watch.
Northridge.
That's right. Kenny watches obscure games all year.
I really watched a lot of Long Beach State this year. I really.
You are like my dad. My dad will be like, yeah, there's a good high school game going. I'm going to go watch the high school game. Your youngest child is in her 40s. He likes to know what's going on and see the up and comers and who's going to go to like San Jose State or make it to UCLA. Like he likes to do that stuff. I do not have the time to keep track of all that stuff, but I played basketball in high school. So the teams that I loved during that time are the teams that I still watch: Stanford, Tennessee. I hated Connecticut. I continue to hate Connecticut. I will never like Connecticut. But I get excited around tournament time for both the men and the women's bracket.
I don't know if we talked about this or not. I feel like we might have, but even if we didn't, what position did you play?
I was a point guard.
Okay, PG. Okay, the floor general. Were you a yeller at your teammates?
Oh yeah, you see how aggressive I am on this show, and how I want the Kings to be more aggressive. I was definitely a yeller. I played with a great group of young girls in high school. They were amazing. I was the least talented, but I knew what we should do. I couldn't always execute it. I didn't have great handles, but I was great beyond the stripe. I could shoot threes. I could shoot lights out. But I'm so short, so I had to get open. I had to have wide open threes. Otherwise, you could easily block me. But like watching like when I watch the women's tournament now, it just makes me feel like I'm in high school again, and I'm watching these girls get after it. I like how aggressive they are, and I like watching teams where the coach is going wild, but not like cussing the players out. The coach is going wild, the women on the court are going wild, and I especially like it when the women have like these days they have like 6-inch nails and lashes, and the makeup isn't even running. I'm like, girl, I don't know how.
The Coopers of the world.
It's amazing. So I'm going to root for anybody who can do all of that while looking like they're having an Instagram photo shoot right after.
Well, these women know, we are in the era of NIL. Let's get some endorsements while we're out there playing. Like, let's go. I'm all for it. I can't imagine. Everybody talked about like how much would Reggie Bush have made? How much would these different guys have made if they played in the NIL era? Dude, Skylar Diggins would be a millionaire multiple times over if that NIL was alive when she was at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
You know what? In thinking about the NIL, I don't know if you guys watched Bomani Jones's new show on HBO. Did you talk about that at all?
I haven't watched it yet. It was I saw it there when I went to watch the latest episode of Winning Time, but I haven't watched. By the way, have you watched Winning Time?
Yes, I just caught up. I like to kind of let a couple episodes.
No doubt. I need your thoughts on Jerry West.
Oh, whoa.
just curious on your thoughts on Jerry West.
Well, let's put that in the back pocket. Let's talk about Jerry West, because I want to talk about the NIL really quickly since you brought it up, because I've been having this conversation with my brother because he's a big Bomani fan. But when NIL happened, like people were rejoicing. It's huge. Now these athletes can make money. And Bomani was like, all we did was give these athletes another job. They're students, they're athletes, and now we're asking them to be spokespeople. Like they have to go out there and hustle for like a car dealership or a nail technician or something. And it's amazing that they can now make money, but it's taking away even more time for what we say we care about, which is, making sure they get an education. What we really need to continue to be focused on is getting the NCAA to play them for their job they are already doing. So as much as like it's exciting that they have that opportunity, especially for those folks who are, talented in other areas and they're also an athlete, like maybe they write poetry. Now they can sell those books and things and not get, dinged by the NCAA. That's wonderful. But we can't take our foot off the gas with the NCAA. We need to figure that out still.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. I hadn't thought about it that way. I guess I looked at it now as, if they're approached, they don't have to turn it down.
Yeah,
and that's a step. Like you said, it's just a step. But I mean, this NCAA tournament that we talk about, NILs, they're making that 20 times over with what's going to be going on over the next month, and they should still get a piece of that as well.
It's progress. But I mean, I was excited initially too. Like, oh, great. I'm like, oh, wait, I forgot. That's not what we were going for. We were going for this other thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny too, because they think that it's going to stall out, boosters and NCAA violations, and it'll even the playing field. And perhaps if you have, a rich oilman at random part of the country here, perhaps that school becomes more, attractive, when actuality, all it's going to, it adds more money, because that's not going to stop booster guy A from still lining your pocket for something else. Like it's not like NCAA violations are going to suddenly stop. And then I think until those violations are brought back into the forefront and all those things are going wrong in the conversations about paying these athletes, it's almost disingenuous to refer to them as student athletes now. But until we get to the point of paying these athletes, that conversation that you just brought up, that's on the back burner right now. Yeah. And especially when you've got, I mean, what was it? Mikey Williams just signed a shoe deal. Yeah. There's a Cooper Manning's boy they think is going to make millions multi times over before he even gets to school.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not gonna. NCAA thinks they fixed the problem.
They just
they kick the can down the road. That's what they think they've done.
That's what they did. I'm of the belief that as soon as maybe not so much in basketball, but definitely in football, as soon as these Power Fives say, what do we need the NCAA for anymore? Then NCAA will be dead, because the Power Fives could say, we're going to start the College Football Alliance League and not even be associated with the NCAA, and they'd be good. You know what I mean? So I think the NCAA kind of saw that coming down the horizon. You know, it's like, oh, we'll try to give them a little something to kind of cloud their judgment or keep them to stay. But like you guys say, it's not over.
But, you know, all athletes, all leagues, collegiate and professional, they have the ability to do that. They have the ability to take control over these governing bodies because they're the talent. They can demand certain things. And we've talked about this in the past. The NBA does a really great job of making sure their guys are taken care of. You know, when there are things happening in the world and you want to shut the NBA down, no games because we want to pay respect to what's that happens. Their Players Association, they're well represented, the athletes in that league. And I think as more athletes become empowered, they feel like they can use their voices and they can work collectively, they can start running things. But it's a decision, right? It has to be everybody on board. And right now, there's still a lot of people who are dominating different leagues. And because the money is raining in for them, they don't really care about everybody else. They've got a small window of time to cash in, and that's what they're focused in on. And that's why it's taking so long for these incremental things to be happening in a positive way.
Yeah.
And that's such a great point. The WNBA, they recently did a collective bargaining agreement in which max contracts, which contracts in general, I don't want to say they skyrocketed, but there was a significant increase in what max money was and what minimum money was. And I remember like Liz Cambridge was really offended by Becky Hammond's coaching deal with Las Vegas, which I completely understand. I completely understand why she's frustrated with it. But at the same time, she's talking about like, hey, these max contracts are, you know, $260,000 or whatever they are. Yeah. You know what they were when Kara was playing, fam? They were 120. Yeah. So you've had an increase of $140,000 within the last 7 years. But the point being is, when you bark loud enough, you're going to get a response. And that bark to increase salaries has been going on for, you know, long. They started to increase. They need to increase more, drastically more, perhaps to keep your star players out of different countries here in the off season where they could potentially be detained as some sort of political prisoner. We want to try to avoid that in the future, but you've got to continue to make that noise. And I think that's and you hit the nail on the head. The NCAA is just doing something to try to quiet that noise.
And you know what, and thinking about the NCAA and the women's tournament that I'm getting excited about, I was remembering last year, I think it was last year. And it's always funny that it's in March, which is Women's History Month, but something always kind of happens to be like, dang, this stuff, women are still dealing with these things. Last year's tournament, they talked a lot about the inconsistencies and how the men's tournament was promoted and what the women's tournament players were given, like the hotel rooms and the mystery meet. And just like the inequality, like they're both making a lot of money. The NCAA is making money hand over fist, but how they're investing in the women's game, it was just way imbalanced. Right. And I remember it only got attention because one, the world was shut down, just like other things that happened that came to light because the world was shut down. People were on TikTok and they were making videos about it. The player from Oregon was making TikTok videos saying like, this is our weight room. And they had like 1 5-pound dumbbell and had this little corner. It was crazy. People were like, what? This is outrageous. And I remember I was watching one of I think it was the second round game. And on the center court, it said women's basketball, as if we didn't know what we're watching. It didn't say March Madness. It didn't say like, Final Four or whatever it was. It just said women's basketball, just to make it clear. They weren't even branding where they were. They weren't using the ability to put logos and things on the court and make money in that way. They just didn't care. And I don't know what's going to happen this year. I know there've been a lot of conversations since then, and they were trying to, give them some equity here. And Dick Sports last year had to step in and ship in some weights and give them a weight room, and other people came in and brought them sandwiches. It's like, the NCAA has money. You do not need outside corporations like supplementing this. Just do the work.
Yeah.
And if people don't watch, they may not get the same numbers, but they get enough numbers to, not give them mystery.
Oh, they can. Yeah, don't be fooled by this. Don't convince yourself that the WNBA or the NCAA, they're not broke. None of them are broke. And the NCAA, like Kenny's so on point, the NCAA is very, 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 very literally the most useless organization on the planet. Like, and I don't mean useless in the way they don't do enough. No, I mean, you're actually not needed. And when these conferences get fed up with you, you're going to be gone. The point is they just haven't gotten to the point where they've decided, yeah, we have the perfect plan to rid ourselves of this. And it's just a governing body. That's all it is. That does, in fact, very little governing.
Right.
Yeah. If anything, I mean, before NIL, all they did was just say no. How can we empower the students? No, you can't do that. We have to restrict them in this way. And we want to make sure they're in school and studying, but we know they're not really doing those things, and paying coaches $7-10 million while your players can ask for extra jelly for their biscuits. Otherwise, there's like, it's just ridiculous. Right. All you were doing was continuing to, let money pour into the same people who've always had those options. And like Kenny said, it's going to change. I hope it changes faster, but we're at a time where, because we have access to social media, people can shoot videos, we can document the inequalities. Hopefully that will galvanize these athletes top to bottom. Again, collegiate down to up to the major leagues to take action. You are the talent. You are who we're watching.
It's a trip. We're having this conversation, and it didn't even dawn on me that the NCAA, like we mentioned earlier, they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything to change the injustice that was going on. It's not like, yeah, we know we're making, we had $11 billion TV deal from CBS. We didn't decide that we're going to let you in on that. We just said, if somebody else wants to give you money, we'll say it's okay.
Exactly.
We didn't let you in on that, though. We didn't let you eat some of that. Yeah, no. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. And again, it's not like this was an original idea that popped into my mind initially. Like a couple of years ago, I interviewed the governor of California. I know you guys, I don't know if you're big fans of Gavin. I am. But he signed the Fair Pay to Play Act that wasn't going to go into effect until 2023. Now, he was a collegiate athlete at Santa Clara, baseball player. And he was like, all of these different states have to put these laws in place in order to get the NCAA to move, because it won't make sense for the states that don't do it, because then you're going to be separating these players in this way. So it was something that helped move, those states that enacted these laws, it helped move NCAA in that way. But again, it's not as if the NCAA, like you said, did anything. They just stopped saying no. But we should still be pushing them to do something. And Bomani helped me remember that. Keep your eyes on the prize.
Yeah.
Olivia Christian, 1320 host and contributor here with us. Let's not bury the lead. Olivia was a point guard, which means you've been a leader your entire life. What do you think about the recent play? Because we didn't get to visit with you last week. What do you think about the recent play of the Sacramento Kings point guard?
I think De'Aaron's doing the best he can. I mean, game to game, right? He's shooting the lights out. He's being aggressive. He's attacking the basket. His assists are up. I feel like he's got this whole other air about him since Sabonis and that trade came in, and he just feels, I think, liberated, and you can see that. So the Bulls game was amazing last night. He hurt his hand. It was a tight game. They fought back. They got behind. They fought back. I thought De'Aaron was consistent, and I think it was difficult. I mean, he was showing us how painful it was.
Yeah.
I think, sometimes you run into those problems, and he had a lot of turnovers, but I don't think they were all just mindless, careless things. I think, sometimes stuff happens. He's still on the grind, which I appreciate. We've got more games in the season. Keep going. Don't let up. So I appreciate the effort that he's putting in. It's contagious for the rest of the team, I think.
In your opinion, Olivia, how can Fox play the way he's playing and still receive the criticism that he receives from some people? Is it literally just he can't do anything right for these guys? And if there is other things that you think he could be doing on the floor that will lead to winning, let me know. I don't think there's not a whole lot more he could be doing that could change their win-loss record right now. He's doing a great job. Why do some people, just regardless of what's going on, how have we gotten to that point? Or regardless of what's going on, De'Aaron Fox is the problem, and he is far from the solution?
I don't know. Haters gonna hate. I don't. If this is 1992, is that when that saying came out? Haters gonna. I don't know why.
I don't know, Olivia. You weren't outside, so that's what Kenny told me.
I mean, I'm saying I don't know what Cal Skate was in the Bay Area, but
in San Jose, it was called Aloha.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
why, but it was Aloha.
Were you couple skating at Aloha?
I'm sorry?
Were you couple skating with little guys?
I only got slightly attractive in the last 5 years. There were not dukes waiting for me to couple skate. Once I got my eyebrows waxed, my life changed.
You a wild one, dude.
But in terms of the hate, I don't know how you get around it. Some people are just destined and committed to hating no matter what. I know they want to see wins.
Mm-hmm.
That's bottom line. They want to see wins, and De'Aaron can only do so much. He's got to have support on the perimeter. People have to make those open shots. But the league is full of streaks. Sometimes they're hitting them, sometimes they're not. Last night they were hitting a lot. I mean, DiVincenzo off-white, he was like, this is my old team. I'm gonna work my ass off.
Mm-hmm.
So he showed up. But it's gonna take support, and it's I think I mentioned this. I listened to your interview with Ken Rudolph the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And it had me fired up. I think I follow him on Twitter. I don't know if he follows me, but I also read his tweets with a twitch of anger and
yes,
sarcasm.
That's really the only way to read a Ken Rudolph tweet is with a twitch of anger. That's correct.
It's always just abusive, and I'm like, you're nothing. I'm like, geez. So I didn't watch the interview live, so I went back, and I was I was amazed by his commitment to this argument there that you're talking about, Kenny. It doesn't matter. It's empty calories. He needs to be able to do these other things. And that's wishful thinking. We would love for him to be able to be that person who could also be the floor general that's aggressive, that's snatching people by the neck. That's something that I've been talking about the whole time that I've been on the show with you guys, is that the Kings need that kind of person on the court. But we have to live in the reality of the personalities of the players that are playing. He's never going to be that type of person, but he will grind. He will attack the basket. He will make smart decisions, 95% of the time. He's going to show up game after game. So we have to respect that. And then also understand that he needs support. He's got some now, but still the sands have been shifting underneath him since he came to Sacramento. So he needs time, and he needs consistency, and he needs support. And players who have found success have always had at least one other player next to them that they can depend on.
Right.
Michael Jordan wouldn't be Michael Jordan without Scottie Pippen. Kobe and Jack. There's always going to be that need for somebody there. And De'Aaron Fox cannot be all of that for the Kings and get wins.
Yeah. And I've said a number of different times, I was disappointed and critical of De'Aaron Fox earlier in the season because I didn't think he was playing up to his capabilities. I didn't think he was being the leader that this team needed. He's rectified those things. He's improved his game immensely and gotten back to where I think he should be and beyond when it talks about his production on the court. Some of the things I see with his leadership, the body language, the communication, taking a more assertive role out there on the court. Those are things that he has improved on during the season. And I look at that and I say, well, he's doing his job. He's doing what I know myself, what I asked of him. He's doing what he can do. Now he needs everybody else around him to take that to another level as well. And sure, maybe that's something that he has to figure out and figure out a different way to lead or build up the other guys or whatever the case may be. But I think he's doing about all you could ask of somebody right now.
The only thing I would add to it is don't wait until mid-season or after the All-Star break
Absolutely.
to start coming at you. Start the season with this energy.
Yeah.
With this commitment. I think that's the last thing I would ask. I don't think he's going to step up and be that kind of aggressive teammate where he's, the loud general on the floor, but he can really speak and into the players by demonstrating his commitment to the team and his hard work from the beginning of the season and not waiting so long.
Yeah.
I hope these dudes spend time together this offseason. I know some people think that's overblown. I know some of these guys spent time together this past offseason in Los Angeles and so on. But De'Aaron and Domantas Sabonis being able to establish a relationship together, hopefully Davion and Donte being a part of that as well, I think it can go a really long way into them starting the season with a rhythm rather than trying to establish a rhythm at the start of the season. I know you've got training camp and preseason games and you hope everything clicks there, but any little extra leverage you can get for what you hope is a very long-term partnership between Fox and Domas, I think that'll go a long way to how the team starts next year. The team collectively, not just De'Aaron, but but
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah. And how they end this year.
Mhm.
Even if they
Sure.
don't get those wins, if you're working hard together, you're building something, a mentality, the way that you want to attack the game. I think it started when they got, the new team together with that trade. It started then. All right, how are we going to finish the season? What kind of run can we make? And build on that as we go into the next season. I think that's all we can really hope for. Well, we can hope for anything, actually.
Mm-hmm.
As fans, I believe you can hope for anything. There's no real way to be a perfect fan. But from the team, at least, it's about being committed to the process, creating a new process if you need to, but being committed to it all in as you leave this season and enter the next.
Coming up, we'll talk more Kings basketball. We'll talk more De'Aaron Fox. We'll talk Kings Celtics. And we got Give and Go with Maybach O. That's on the way as we continue here on D'Lo and KC. Brought to you by McQueen and the Violet Fog, the smoothest gin in the world, handcrafted in Brazil, here on ESPN 1320. We were rolling, so I decided to skip the 13, take us to 28. We'll come back. The segment will be a little bit shorter. So we kind of did the long segment first and the short segment second.
Our guy, Ginger Vegan King, you are not Ben. You are not Mio. So I'm not approaching you like that. But just answer a couple questions you asked. Is Fox a Max player? Is Fox a Max player? Simple, yeah or no question. Yeah, he is. Yes. I mean, it's as simple as that. He's on the rookie contract, all that other stuff. Absolutely he is. Now whether you want to say the people that get the max contracts, deserve them or whatever the case may be, but based on how the rookie pay scale is set up and everything else like that, yeah, he's a max player. Absolutely. If he would have hit the open market, he would have got the max that somebody else could have given him. So there's a yes on that. And then, he talks about, all the moral victory narratives. And at the start of the season, we said if it didn't make the playoffs, it was a massive failure. Nobody's changed that thought. Just because we come out now and we say, hey, I like the way this team looks or they're not playing that bad, that doesn't change the fact that this year is a failure. Not once have myself or Damian said, well, you know what? They're competing now. So I think I want to run it back and say that this season was not a failure. No, nobody said that, not once. So, I don't know what you want. I don't know if you want 4 hours of us saying everybody sucks and De'Aaron, it's all De'Aaron's fault. Maybe that is what you want. That's not what you're going to get here. You're going to get intelligent, thought-provoking thoughts and opinions here, not just sweeping everything with a broad brush. These things are nuanced, man. It's not just simple, oh, they suck. It's more than that. Thank you.
Jackson taken to the woodshed. Jackson.
Now, Ginger Vegan King, that's my guy. He's
that's
cool.
Jackson, yeah, that's our guy.
He's straight. He is not on the level of Ben and Mio. That's why I responded to him. I don't respond to Ben and Mio.
Let's get to what everybody really wants to know. Olivia, is Foxy Brown a music pioneer?
Pioneer?
Thank you. Olivia.
Participant.
Olivia, before Kim and Foxy, you got your Cardis, you got your Nickies, you got your Megs Thee Stallion right now. Before Foxy and Kim, was anybody doing that? Were any of the female rappers being girly girls or being, sexy, having the Gucci, the Prada, the LV, all that other stuff? Is that how the female rappers were able to do their thing before those two?
Well, I think all of this is all of hip hop is an evolution. It's biting off of what was in front of you or behind you, and then kind of putting a little twist on it.
Mm-hmm.
What Nicki's doing is what Kim was doing, but a little bit different. I mean, her butt's bigger. I think Kim's butt is as big these days, but I think Fox.
Yeah, but it's not hers.
Right, it's not. I don't think anybody has their own.
Well, she bought it, so she can have it. So I guess it is hers, but go ahead.
But I don't think of Foxy in that way. I think she has her lane, and I think she, built on the legacy of hip hop. But I don't know if she pioneered.
Who was doing it before?
And wearing fur bikinis. I think it was all just kind of an evolution towards those things.
I mean, maybe so, but they were the first. Nobody was doing it before them.
She can't have pioneer status.
No, I don't.
Foxy and Kim were on the cover of Vibe. You know what I'm saying? For everything that was going on. I think a lot of people, because a lot of people don't listen when I speak. I never talked about Foxy as a better MC than Queen Latifah or MC Light, or she was the first female to rap. Nobody said all that. But her style and Kim's style, which is prevalent today all throughout women who are rapping, they were the first to do it that way.
Okay. I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight, Kim.
Now, like I said,
maybe I'm just hung up on.
It could be a little different because, like I said, you weren't at Cal Skate.
I was at Aloha. I'm older than you, though. I wasn't at
Cal Skate, because Cal Skate was something different. It was. You want to talk about movie status, man? Go to Cal Skate on a Saturday night.
Does it still exist?
No, it's like a gym now.
Aw.
These kids, they don't understand the virtue of skating on a Saturday night.
These kids.
They don't get it.
The other,
her name was Inga.
Yeah. Inga's actually deaf. She went deaf for a little. I think she is still legally deaf.
Can I tell you the other issue I had with Ken's interview?
Yeah. You want to tell? Because I think we might be coming back. You tell us when we get back.
Okay.
Yeah, we're coming back right now. That's how we'll get into this. Okay, here we go. Live on the Odyssey app, indeed. You could also watch the show on twitch.tv/ESPN1320, youtube.com/ESPN1320, and Facebook Live as well over on the ESPN 1320 Facebook page. We're going to get into Give and Go with May back. Oh, here we need some music for it. That's what we need something.
Foxy Brown? Do we need Foxy Brown?
Music pioneer. This is a pioneer.
Home tonight, take your pick. Hotspot.
It has to be free music, so maybe, it might have to be. That's daydreaming. For some reason, this record right here. This record's called "Feeding the Ducks." I don't know what to do with that.
The ducks.
But you had that's what it says. You had another note on our conversation with Ken that you wanted to mention.
Yeah, just in that, we've had this conversation before. You guys have both kind of posed a question to me about, like, as fans, should we be hoping for this? As fans, should we demand these things? And my go-to is always like, let fans be fans any way they want to be fans. Put your heart and your hopes into every season. That's what being a fan is. So I took issue a bit when Ken Rudolph was talking about the mistake that Kings fans make. The mistake that we make is we fall in love with the guy and they're already living their dream. They're making their millions. They're in the NBA. You all in love with them, and he doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about your team. And what we should be focusing on is finding someone that'll help us win. And I just wanted, just that point about how telling us how to be fans, I think is a mistake. I don't think there's a way to show your fandom other than not, beating your wife or your girlfriend when you lose the tournament or you lose the Super Bowl, because domestic violence goes up during those times of year. So in that way, don't be a fan. But in other ways, again, putting your heart and soul into a team every year, I think that's what being a fan is. And I don't fault Kings fans for having the faith and having the hope every season. And that was my point.
That's all you have. That's all you can have as a Kings fan is faith and hope, because they haven't given us anything else. The problem is, or not the problem, the frustration is often that faith and hope quickly dissipates and it becomes anger and frustration. And then you're looking for someone to be angry and frustrated at. And when the obvious target of Luke Walton is gone, then you shift it to Buddy or Marvin Bagley or both. And now that Buddy and Marvin are gone, you got to shift it somewhere else. And because maybe your favorite player was traded, you have shifted all of your attention and ire onto De'Aaron Fox. And for some reason, it feels like people have now begun to irrationally watch professional basketball in their evaluations of not only De'Aaron Fox, but Tyrese Halliburton as well. And it's the dynamic of being a fan. And the fact is, De'Aaron quiets this noise down, and this is completely unfair, but it's just the way it is. De'Aaron quiets this noise down next season if the team wins. If they don't,
comes down to
the haters, they out and they'll be loud. They're loud now. They'll be really loud if he starts slow, if the team is losing, if he falls short. It's going to be loud because their version of fanning is looking there. We always use the example of the Quaid, Randy Quaid in Major League, in the movie Major League. He's the one that, we suck, or the team gets good and they win.
Blow it.
We'll blow it in the playoffs. Like there are fans that are so, and he is that is years of suffering as the Cleveland Indians fan in that movie.
Yeah.
Kings fans have been through the same thing, and De'Aaron has to change people's minds at the beginning of next season.
Well, that's the whole evolution of being a fan. Like you said, the beginning of the season, you're likely hopeful. Mid-season, you're questioning things. Late in the season, you're hating everything, and the whole season was a waste. Most franchises and major league teams suck. They lose. There are only a handful of teams that keep winning and winning and winning and winning. So most of us as fans are in despair year after year, season after season, sport after sport. That is what being a fan is. Caring about whether or not they do well, it means you're a fan. And I'm fine with that. That's why I'm like, don't be mad at folks for putting their heart and soul into an individual or into a team. Mm-hmm. But also, I don't believe that people who become professional athletes, once they sign their check, their deal, or whatever, are like, I'm good, I made it. These are competitive people. That's the reason why they made it into the majors. They had to be grinding and wanting to win and wanting to stay in the league and wanting to make it into the highlights, to make an all-star team, to make the defensive player of the year, being named the sixth man. I don't think they ever give up wanting to win, especially because they've likely always won and they hate the feeling of losing. So I think players play for their team. They play for their city, and watching winning team, Magic talks about how much love he was getting in LA and how he loves the love. I think players want to be loved where they are. And so they may not be great at a press conference, which, maybe they can get a little training on how to handle the press. I don't know. But it doesn't mean because they don't have the right words or they don't show themselves on the court the way that you think they should, that they're not in it to win it. There's no way. I don't believe that you get to that level and you're done. It doesn't happen.
Right.
Jerry West just wanted to be loved. KC.
He was loved.
He was loved.
He was loved, but he also wanted to win, right? As much as love he got, he's like, I want to win. I want to win this way too. It's not,
he had his own way.
He had his own way of winning at the beginning of episode 2, that's for sure.
But
it was so hot in that room. I'm like, open a window.
After the NBA finals, it was probably around June. It's hot in LA around that time, it is.
It's hot in LA all the time. Open a window, put on the air conditioning. This is gross. I'm gross now.
The other thing about that though, that I always have a problem with is, the old phrase of not keeping the same energy. Like, if you're going to be around, it's okay to criticize De'Aaron Fox last night with 4 turnovers in the final 2 minutes or whatever the case may be of that game. He didn't close out the game right. That's fine. But don't go bragging about that when you're nowhere to be found, when he's putting 40 up on whoever he did, Utah, or, they beat Chicago and he closes them out there and he's playing well. Like, it's okay to be like, hey, this guy's playing well. People talk about I'm a Draymond Green hater or whatever the case may be. I have no problem. I've done it numerous times on these airwaves, on Twitter or whatever. Draymond was playing great this year. He was really contributing to what they were doing. He played really well last year. Hey, Draymond's playing. He's balling right now. You don't need to be no grand nothing, but when you're nowhere to be found, when things aren't going your way and your argument isn't being represented by the play of that player, but one thing goes wrong and all of a sudden here you are, you're back on the Twitter, you're back on the chats and all this other stuff. That's when it's just not a good look. That's what I'll say. It's just not a good look for me. And that's not that's not the type of way that I go about these things.
Well, I think context is necessary, right? Like if you just say you had 4 turnovers in the last couple of minutes, like, oh my God, how can we win with something like that? Oh, he had one hand. And they were all getting smacked around. I'm sure Sabonis has to be like, I cannot believe this is how their referee during the Kings just get smacked around, no calls right in front of referee. He has to be like, this is wild. Not only is he icing his knees, he has to go home and ice his face every night. And he didn't experience that before. But context is necessary, which is why, when the season changed, we made those moves, we had dreams, or at least I'm like, I think you should try to get into the tournament. I want you to have that goal. Whether or not it happens doesn't matter. But the trying is what, as a fan, I want to see. I want to see growth. I want to see some movement. I want the ball to move around. I want you to not let, these, mind games go on where all of a sudden you guys are on vacation and the other teams put up 10 or 15 points and you look around like, how did we get here? I don't want third quarter scare. I want them to be improving. Right. But context is important in judging players night to night. You have to tell the full story, or you're just a hater and you just want to start stuff.
Yeah, and that was super, super apparent last night. And it was either you're a hater or you weren't watching. And I felt more people than not weren't watching. They were either following along on Twitter, they were doing something else, so they were looking at box scores, and they wanted to be critical of De'Aaron without having, and that was, you used the big word right there, context. You don't have context to last night's game. You don't have the story of last night's game. I
don't rule out the forgotten scenario of they just don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Oh, that is possible as well.
There's a lot of people out there like that. They're watching the game, and they don't know what the hell they seeing or what they talking about.
I recommend those that are watching, or excuse me, those that are listening on the Odyssey app, or those that are listening on 1320 AM, when you're done with your day, head over to youtube.com/ESPN 1320. Jesse does a great job of breaking the show down into chapters. You could actually click on what are in the live stream commercial breaks. So for the radio, it's a commercial break, but on the stream, we just keep talking. Kenny scolds one person after another for virtually the entire show. You can click on it and just click on the thing that says break and just watch Kenny scold somebody. Like, it is fantastic. It's one of the occasions where the commercial breaks on the radio show may have actually been stronger than the actual radio show here today. But this is always one of my favorite parts of the week. It's give and go with Maybach. The goods, the bads, the gives, the goes. Olivia, what do we got here?
Well, I want to dip my toe into baseball talk because I want to give me my MLB season. Yeah. And I remember a few weeks ago, a couple of guys on here were telling me, nope, it's not going to happen. We're not getting a season.
That's true.
I don't remember who that was.
I'm very excited. Baseball is back. But what can go is Aaron Judge becoming the new Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my!
Wait a minute! How did Aaron Judge catch a stray just now?
Wow!
I'm a Yankees fan, right? Aaron Judge.
Oh, man, Olivia right in the back with the steel chair.
It's on the vaccination stuff. That's what
I didn't know. Oh, so
Aaron,
he may not.
So Aaron can't play. Aaron Judge can't play home games.
Well, they're just like the GM is like, we're talking with the mayor right now. We're trying to figure it out. But there were, sniffles of that last year. People talking, are you not? And he's like, I don't really want to talk about it. I think we should focus on this season. And he was asked earlier in the week about it, and he's making the same, dodging the question. He didn't say that he's immunized like Aaron Rodgers, but it's going to be a thing.
It wasn't just okay. That'll be interesting to follow. I remember those rumblings now that you bring them up. I had completely forgot about him. I hadn't thought a single second about him, but I think the biggest thing with Aaron Rodgers is he used that line, but then he walked around with the privileges, and they were at the time, of being vaccinated. Like he was above all of it. That was like the most offensive part. It was like, dude, screw you. Like, you think you're above everybody else. Of course, that's nothing new for Aaron Rodgers. That's part of who and what he is. We'll see how Aaron Judge handles this. And Of course, the answer to the question isn't to get the house in order and to get we're going to work it out with the mayor because we can't get it fixed within our own freaking clubhouse. We'll go work it out with the mayor. Now, the mayor of New York has some things to fix for sure, but God, what a cop out.
The mayor of New York is one. He's one, but just with like Kyrie, maybe Kyrie's the better example here. I don't know, but.
It doesn't make sense. None of it makes
sense.
Well, I understand the fact that if you're an employee, we have these rules and these are the things you can and cannot do. And to make exceptions for these guys, these particular guys who, for whatever reason, have decided that they don't care what's in a chicken McNugget, but they care what's in this vaccine. I don't think they should be allowed to do that. But I also kind of want to get over it. Now that we have vaccines and we have things that can help people survive. Of course, not everyone is going to. I feel like we're kind of in a different era of COVID. So it's not like we're in the same place as where we started. But I also don't like to reward people for being dicks. Am I allowed to?
Oh, it's out there now. Let it ride.
Let it ride, pal.
Is there legs?
It's Dick's Sporting Goods. There's Dick's Sporting Goods. That's fine. Just let it ride. People have said way worse.
Okay, good. But yeah, so my give is the MLB season. My go is that attitude.
That's hilarious. I now I'm gonna be following this because I have not thought a single second about that situation with Aaron Judge. So now you've got me locked in over there to the Yankees.
I forgot about it too. I got so excited. I'm following all the Yankees on Twitter, and then I saw the conference. I'm like, oh yes, I forgot. My heart is
and much like the Kyrie thing. So Aaron Judge won't be able to play for the Yankees, but he could sit on the first base line.
That's right.
Like that
maskless with a hot dog.
Maskless with a hot dog. He can sit right there. And that's it. They're ending up doing more, I feel, more damage than good, maybe. Not with what's going on, but getting people educated with what they should be educated with. Because some people are just going to see that and be like, wait, you want me to do this? But he can still go to a game and sit right next.
But do you reward defiance? Do you reward the selfishness? I don't. And
you fix the mandate. I think the flaw. I think the problem is the mandate. Like why can't he? Yeah, right.
But everybody's an employee, right? For most people.
Of the state, there's certain things. They're somehow their finances. I don't know how it's it's just like with the Warriors. People who are coming to San Francisco, they had to abide by their laws about who can come into a building and who has to be vaccinated and masks and all that stuff. And all of the players had to be vaccinated because they were, I don't know, again, regulatory wise, how it's connected, but for whatever reason, that's how it worked. But if you know that, I just don't think you can reward defiance. I'm just not into that. But I also want to figure this out because Aaron Judge is amazing.
You made the point is we're in a different era of this, and truthfully, we better enjoy it while we can because we really have no idea what, if anything. Maybe nothing's around the corner, but history says something is. So let's maybe let's just lift everything and get on with life for the next 6 months before it all goes back to hell.
Yeah.
Straight to hell. What's next?
Well, my give and goes, the rest of my give and goes have to do with the game last night. And I'm not just plugging my old show.
Nice. That's solid right there. Good work.
That show is coming back. That show is coming back.
I like it. Soon to be available on the. I like it. Let's go. Let's go. So is there anything we didn't touch on from last night's game that we need to dive into?
I don't know because I didn't listen to your whole conversation today. But my give.
No, I meant us. I meant the three of us. I didn't mean over the last 4 hours.
Okay, clarity. I love that they kept attacking the basket. I like that they were active on the glass. Give me more of that as the season progresses. Give me that aggression. Give me that because I think it helps with their offense. Defense breeds offense. I don't know if breed is the right word, but like when you're active defensively, it opens up opportunities for you offensively. And the Kings are better when they're not up against a set defense. If they can attack the rim offensively and they're, putting the ball back or getting rebounds, and it really opens up opportunities for that. And I think they did a good job of that last night. So give me more of that.
Alvin wants more of that too. I just think he wants a few more whistles when they do it.
Oh my gosh, yes.
He stopped short of collecting a fine. He said almost everything you just said and wanted to throw in, it would be great if we got to the foul line when we did it. But they were not. In fact, we're not.
I wonder what the issue is. Are the referees not being put up in a nice enough hotel in Sacramento? They all hate.
It's really nice too. They need to. I don't know why they're hating.
I don't know what that is. It's something though. It doesn't make any sense. How can you be consistently this bad no matter where you are in the country? It doesn't make any sense. But moving along, one of my goes, which is something we already kind of touched on, is the lapses. Those lapses where they seem lost, they go away from what got them to where they were, kept them in the game, and they give up, 10 or 15 point leads. And then they have to fight their way back into the game. And you can kind of like, if you're watching it on television, I'm sure it's the same in Golden One. Like all of a sudden everyone's holding their breath. Is this happening again? Oh my gosh, it's difficult to keep climbing out of these holes.
It's difficult, especially when it's predictable.
Yes, don't keep doing this. I know it's hard. There are a lot of teams this season who've given up big leads. They're up by 20, 25 points in the first half and they can't sustain it. And they, I understand that. But, the fact that keeps happening with the Kings is challenging. I am a fan of the whistle. Let's call a timeout and stop it. And I think Alvin Gentry did that last night, but they also didn't let it get too out of hand and they were able to find their way out of it. But let's just nip it in the bud. Let's get rid of that over Summer League. Let's figure out a way to not let those runs happen.
Yeah.
That's 1320 host and contributor Olivia Christian right there. You can check us out on Twitch, on YouTube, on Facebook Live. If you missed any part of the show, download the podcast available here on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts from. KC, we're headed to the March Madness coverage right now, man. So we have got you covered here for the next few hours. Keep your radios locked here and make sure you're back at noon on Sacramento's #1 sports station, ESPN 1320.
Holla.
Bang.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. No, we had that. We got out like a minute and a half earlier than we normally do, because we're going to a game. Yeah.
The best part of the men's tournament is one shining moment.
One shining moment.
I will stay up to watch that and sing along and judge whoever they've hired that year to do their rendition. Be like, nah, that's bad.
Everybody loves one shining moment.
I feel like the NBA needs their version of it. We can all sing together. The ball is tipped. There you are.
Hi.
For your life.
Yo, it could be you.
There you go.
Yeah, it could be you.
It's so good. It's like you're so excited to see, like, oh yeah. And then all the kids start crying and the people in the band start crying. You're like, yes, what a tournament it was. The tuba players crying inside of it. Like, amazing. Good entertainment.
Icon, I meant to mention this on the show. I did see the Twitter post. Icon versus Icon was 20 years ago today. Hogan versus Rock in Toronto. Did you watch Hulk Hogan versus The Rock in Toronto, Olivia? Oh man, that's too bad. Missed out.
I think I'm the only person that's involved in the show that's not into wrestling.
Yeah, we'll get you there.
Yeah,
we'll get you there.
Got to get there.
WrestleMania slumber party coming up.
When I was a kid, I watched it. That's how I knew the cartoons were over. My brother would come in and body slam me, and I'm like, oh, wrestling's on.
You have just one brother, right?
Yeah.
And two sisters?
Mm-hmm. 4 of us. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I was the only one that was getting body slammed, though. Backbreakers. So like Junkyard Dog and Andre the Giant, like that was the era that I watched wrestling.
Mm-hmm. That sounds right. That sounds right.
Did you guys talk about the great bench play last night? I'm sure you did.
Yeah, we talked more about Donte and Davion. I mean, what was that, 38 between them?
Yeah.
19 and 19, right?
Yeah.
It's tough when the big three on the other end scoring like 80 something.
Yeah, Middleton.
But they did a
shoot your lights out, Middleton.
Middleton was a problem last night.
Yeah. Per usual. Per usual. All right, we're gonna end the stream and talk for a bit. Make sure you guys are back here tomorrow to be KC. KC and James Ham. I was stuck for a minute. I was like, what does this mean? Oh, I got it. It's the line I always use. It's the lyric. It's the lyric. Messed up. All right. Appreciate y'all, man. Have a great rest of your day. We will see you tomorrow.